Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to StevieMillPlays. It's been another fantastic day. I hope everyone had a good day today. And we're ready for some more epic dungeon crawling coming your way. I'm Stevie Mill. We've got, well, I'll let everyone do a quick introduction here, and then we'll do a little bit of that backstory.
Well, I'm a blind avian monk named Irving. I'm gonna get some new skills, hopefully. Get stronger. We'll see.
I'm a Namekian dark mage named Drum, and my goodness, he misses being out at sea. He misses the boat. He misses the water. He might go a little crazy. Or maybe he won't. Who knows?
Come at me, bro. I'll know you're coming.
Or were you?
Yes.
Oh, you want to get nuts?
I'm playing Slippy, the Bardic Slime. If our enemies are slacking, hopefully they won't notice the wacky way we're attacking.
Hell yeah.
Those epic skills you're packing.
I'm Sprinkles, the Khajiit Rogue, and I'm gonna try to level up today.
Try to gain a level today. That might be a pretty good opportunity for that with all the with everything that's been happening. It's a pretty good segue. But I am Stevie Mill. This is Dungeons and Dragons. And actually, well, come to see, we're actually in a dungeon. But you know, instead of a traditional 5e or a Pathfinder or a traditional D&D style, we're using the progressive D6 system and running this amazing game. And actually, this is the world itself is called Argela. The name of the campaign itself, really, Return to Argela. And so this is a return in a sense, though it's funny that now that you think about it, none of you had really been here before, right? Huh. It's interesting, but it is the progressive D6, and so it is going to be a little different as you watch things play out, especially the combat and the skills to normal Dungeons and Dragons or a D20 based combat system for that matter. I know there's other. All over the internet, different kinds. If you played Vampire the Masquerade, or if you've played anything from, actually it's funny.
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun. You took it right out of my mouth. If you play anything from that, which also they actually use D6s quite a bit in their system too. It's actually pretty fun. So it is going to be a good night with fights. We'll say that nights of fights. But if you didn't catch the last episode, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com StevieMillPlays. You can catch those earlier episodes of triumphing through this Replica Castle dungeon. It started out as sewers, pretty deep underneath the castle itself. But as you've been getting deeper and deeper, it's, being less and less sewer-like, really, that you've noticed. And now it's more like, dungeon-esque rooms that are cut into the stone themselves. And less of that water and less of that sewage and, less of that damp, nasty smell, So make sure you check out the YouTube channel to catch up on those episodes. They had literally all just walked into another room from the one you had been in previously, and you were moving pretty quickly through this section of the dungeon underneath the castle. To say that they did, actually split ways before, and each team did really good at the last in the last session too. So definitely something to go back and check out. The room you found yourselves in when we stopped before was literally a rat's nest, to call it anything else. There were several rats, all in ones and twos or threes over here, gnawing on bones and rustling around in under debris and things like that, cloth and rags, or scuttling around, digging into the corner, just kind of milling around. So as the five of you were all about to walk in, we'll say it was in this formation. You've been in this this sewer dungeon now for what feels like hours and hours. As they've been narrowly navigating perilous traps and fighting enemies and waiting, even fighting against the water itself on some occasions too, to arrive up to this point. And there was some information about this dungeon in particular that was the reason why you came here, right?
Oh, man, it's got
We're going to the deepest dungeons of Rakapa ruins.
I knew it.
So
I didn't say anything. I was like, it's
further
right there.
inquire
No.
about the old ways and learn about our
I
place
got faith.
Yes.
within the world spell.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's been a harrowing series of near pitfalls and dangers to get to this point. And so as you push your way from the room before, which was a bit of a tunnel room that had come after that that strange room with the big stone bridges that you had to kind of get to come down by throwing things at them, right? That was the room that you had just been in before. And actually had narrowly gotten past that. I remember, I think the platform you were on had broken away.
Yeah, you use Egan, your pickaxe to knock the holes into the ground.
Oh man, that was
That was really fun. That was a good puzzle.
Egan was working hard. I'll tell you what, he earned every bit of that that he got for working his way through that.
Oh, yeah. So I got a robe back then too, and I'm gonna give it to you. It's like a dark crimson robe. And double check myself.
Yeah, we were gonna give it to Egan, but it's a little too big for him. And I don't think there's a tailor in the dungeon.
Egan, that brave little goblin, an NPC, sweating it out with the players in the dungeon.
Came from Allrain Port.
Dark
Across the
crimson
sea.
robe. Magic.
To these
That's what I have it. I don't know.
Thank you.
Probably help the mage. It's got dark and it's magic. So you're dark and magic.
Good to
Yeah.
know. Keep it in mind. Do a little investigation, I suppose.
So it is as you're walking through that tunnelway, and it is like a stone cut tunnelway in the dungeon below itself that led straight on ahead after that room, and it twisted off to the right and then opened up into this room before you, where you're going to see all these hulking wolf rats. So there would be a moment there while you're rounding that corner that you hold it out, and it is a dark red, like a burgundy robe. With some on the trim and around the neck, just like patterns out of a darker cloth. But it is an older, faded-looking robe, and so some of the spots where the symbols would be have faded away. But it's otherwise pretty nice. If you were to put it on, it'd go right to about your calf.
There was a scroll in it, and we did have Egan read the scroll.
What was it about? What happened?
It belonged to a wizard that left his best robe here because he couldn't properly navigate the dungeons. And actually, that's about it.
Cool. I'll keep it in my inventory.
He did. I think it was also something laid in the note about his group looking for kind of something deep and ancient within this dungeon, as if they knew about something valuable that was here. But yeah, he was the last living survivor, so it was just his handwriting on the parchment inside the pocket of those robes. So are they in your inventory, or?
It's in my inventory. Yes.
Okay. So rounding that corner of it's big, heavy, gray set blocks, and it comes up, towards rounded bits of dirt and bigger chunks of rock at the top. Like you can tell you're underground, but there are bigger pieces and chunks of rocks in it, turning the corner into this wide, larger room. And it looks like it maybe would have been sleeping quarters at some point. You see where there's rotted sections of strips over here where maybe it had been something made of wood 100 years ago and had long since rotted away. And you see a couple of those over here, and there are human bones. Some of them still barely sticking out of the heavy dirt, here and there littered around. First thing you see as you walk in, and then the hulking wolf rats all hunched over. Each one easily being above your knee. Big, bulbous, pink, almost mutated looking, with long, thick whiskers and their front 8 or 9 teeth coming out of the front are all huge and pronounced and kind of gnashing. They all spin. Sprinkles definitely had a torch lit out in front of you as you were just walking out into the room, right? Yeah, and so that alerts them all immediately. The whole room is suddenly a frenzy with chittering screeches and chattering of teeth and claws, as they all turn and kind of squint for a moment against the bright hue of the torchlight, but then realizing, catching a whiff of your sweet man flesh. If there were any humans in this group, I could actually say that. Catching the smell of sweet swine flesh. They gotta say that right in the first try. They all, begin to start, bounding and.
The torch to Egan and pull out my bow.
Egan is kind of. The order was like this, where you were walking in. Oh, actually, if they were. Ooh, was he in the back of the group? If they were walking next to each other to hand off the robes, then they'd have to be standing like this when they walked into the room. So you can have him up front with here with Slippy in the back, or him in the back with a formation with Slippy with you in the front.
He has a torch too. Doesn't Egan have a torch as a torch?
So yeah, if he was holding it too, then it's his torchlight behind yours in the hallway.
I guess there's nowhere to really prop it. I'm just gonna drop it and pull out my bow. Kind of toss it out in front of me a little bit, so maybe they'll have to run over it or something.
Okay. Toss it out right here in front of you, right? Just throw it out. Already pulling the bow out, getting ready to knock an arrow. Okay. And so then, yeah, Egan was back here. He's still holding the torch out like this, but he can already hear the chittering echoing off the walls and the ceiling. And so he's already, reaching for his weapon. What is he using?
Serrated dagger.
A serrated dagger? Okay. Chink, as he draws it. He's peering out from between Irving and Drum. And you can, of course, you heard the chittering as soon as it started, and so you can definitely tell that there's, several of them all skittered about in the room. They're all sort of lurching over, getting ready to begin advancing on you, and it's about 10, 20. Yeah, the first couple are about 30 feet out.
Okay.
Ready to whip. Because it opens up and you're still kind of standing in the hallway here, at the end of it, it really is a bit of a spot where he's standing right in front of you and Slippy is there as well, and so it's all like we're packed in a bit of a tight group as you were rounding the corner there. So if you want to try to get ahead, it may cost you a little more turn action to kind of unless you jump and dive over them, but. Well, Slippy's. You can probably jump and dive over Slippy, definitely.
Okay. Can we do a team move where you can use me as a springboard?
Yeah, sure.
That's a great idea. Look at you go.
Let's go.
Alright. We roll just.
I'll roll the mold to turn to a better spring.
Okay.
Launch 'em.
To roll at the same time as you do which move? Just a
it's
jump, or do you have a move in mind?
I have a talon dive, but I don't know if that would really. That's more of like an attack. But I'd be willing to use it.
Yeah, so if he matches your roll, then you get a team skill off of it.
Sick.
Good luck. A 6 and a 5. Roll the 6 again.
Should I roll? I've got let's
Hit the 2. Though a 6 and a 5 is definitely success enough. As you coil your body, feeling yourself shrink down and press, you can feel your mass getting more dense. As your body slowly twists up around you, literally at the moment that his feet were rising up off the stone walkway to plant firmly on your back, with all that tension, coiled up, you just sort of push up with your body. You're gonna, kind of flutter up, almost to the top of the ceiling itself, and it's that similar where it's heavy veins of dirt with some bigger rocks and stone pieces jutted in various angles across the whole thing. So you get up about 3/4 of the way, about 12 feet.
Nice.
And wow, that will. If you want to roll a d6 for the attack, you can attempt the attack portion of the Talon die. Oh, 1!
I've got. What is close quarters? It says 2 a day and roll an extra d4.
So that is a move when you're in close, like dirty grappling with someone, that lets you. But it also doubles as that Edarok move you picked up, right? You picked it up in Edarok?
I think so. Yeah.
But but it's where you're like if you're 2 a day 1d4.
Yeah, that's what it says.
And it's close quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it gives you a move if someone's trying to like throw or grapple you. Twice a day you can add the 1d4 to your roll.
Okay. Cool.
Well, you're on a grapple range, right?
Yeah. No, I thought that I could try.
Yeah, this would be rushing in for the attack. With your blades out, you dive forward, but you went up so high, you misguided your depth. As you do a flip in the air, whistling the attack, going through nothing. As you land, boom, flat on your back. They both pounce directly on top of you, biting and clawing. I'll let you roll a 1d4 against their rolls. What my other here is? Oh well. 2 attacks, a 2 and a 5. A 1.
I'm gonna take some damage.
So yeah, the first one that hopped on you, again, large, almost like the size of a dog, really. It's such a hulking wolf-like rat. A lot of its fur is missing in a lot of patches where there's that stretched out pink veiny skin instead.
That's
The prey has become pretty.
So they're both, on top of you, one almost over the other, as they're just raving ravenously to get at you. So the one right on your chest, clawing and scratching at your face. Can't get that one on the first try. Clawing and scratching at your face. They deal 1d4 and 1d4 halves damage. That's, wow, 2 + 1, 3 damage. But they're both directly on top of you, scratching and clawing.
Couldn't quite reach it.
Above on the wrist.
So
You're gonna have a lot of feathers for hair.
you can finish doing more things in your turn. You only used your spring move to vault him.
Alright, how far am I from the nearest? Pretty far from Irving. I'll just move in and use predate armor.
Okay. Have you slept? How many pre-day armors have you used? You have used 2. Okay. Okay.
I get 3 today.
Okay. Go. Nice. You got one more. So so you want to do the d6 for the distance jump first? A 2. It will get you. Well, you covered about 8 foot of distance in one hop. He's still out there about 8 or 10 feet ahead of you. Trying to keep his face protected and at the same time push and shove them off of him as they're desperately clamoring over each other to taste his bird flesh.
They want my feathers. They're trying to make arrows.
Oh wait, isn't that torch still right there?
Sure, it's right next to you now. You're adjacent to it.
Can I just throw it? Yeah, can I just throw it out?
Sure.
I'm gonna pick up that torch and
Right, you've got it in your inventory. It's still lit. Yeah, and with a 4, I don't think either of them are gonna. Yeah.
Oof.
With a 4, the one that's on top of the one that's really getting at him, clawing and biting in his face, there was one on top. So as you heave it back and hoist it over your head, it does a whoosh one time, and the flame end of it smacks right into the side of its face. sparks and ash spray away for just a moment as it falls off of him, squealing from all the heat now that brandished the side of its face.
What does the squeal sound like?
Best name for it.
Nice.
Oh wait, I still don't. Do I have time to use my predate armor?
No, because you jumped, moved, and then instead of doing predate armor, you did the attack.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
but you did knock one enemy completely off of Irving, where he was lying.
Thanks, dude. This was a great idea. I still believe.
All right,
We're gonna make it.
go ahead. Agility 6.
Alright,
You're standing now, yeah, and you can see more of them chittering and moving from the back side of the room, and you know it was a graceful movement that Irving did as he vaulted high into the air.
Right.
But yeah, but you can tell that he thought maybe he was lower than he was because he just woof and did almost a perfect spin in the air before landing on his back.
It was the wind noise.
I see it. Can I shoot over Stevie? Am I taller? I'm taller than him, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
I can easily shoot over him.
You can shoot over him, but he is in direct line of sight. So
Can I like move here and still take 2 shots?
you want to move this way?
Or actually, I could move right there.
'Cause he is lying on the ground now, so he's completely prone and flat on his back.
Let me move up that way.
So you want to take? Okay, go ahead and roll that first
Can
d6.
I react to him telling me to duck? Like make myself like.
A 1. If he decides to shoot that way, we can wait until he fires the shot. But with a 1, you can move 1 block over, about 5 feet, as you do 1 quick leap, making a good point to keep the arrow knocked in your bow.
And then I guess I'll take a shot at maybe one of these guys.
Yeah, they're both really, because he's on the ground now, they're like, you can tell that they're bounding and just moving right towards where he's at.
Alright. I'll shoot one of those.
Alright, go ahead, and you're up against the wall, so it's 10, 20, it's, yeah, about 30, 35 feet. Get that 1 out of there. A 4, nice. A 2, let's go. So the first one, and what's the bow that you're using?
I'm using the Thunderbolt bow.
Thunderbolt bow. So you've enchanted it to the point to where it's got those small curvings at the end with like elaborate curvings and twistings, and the whole bow itself has that oaken look, but it's it's like it's been stained to almost look like a yellow. It has a yellow tint or a hue to it. So as you draw it back, and as soon as you let it go, the whole room again flashes in a bright of electricity magic as this huge sort of like a ball of lightning, the size of a grapefruit at the end of the arrow, just shh. And as it flies out, you see bits of it coming off, crackling against the ground in little arcs. So as it passes over them on its way, the rat and Irving will have to roll to be grounded and not take electrical damage.
It's gonna be super effective on flying.
The rat got a 1. Roll d4. Do you want to battle it? Want to battle it?
Give me the 4.
A 1.
Oh, matching ones.
So it does pass over you, and there's that moment where you feel a bit of a jolt as it passes through your body. You and the rat each do take a damage.
Ouch.
What do you have?
17.
It streaks by towards this one on the inside. With a 2, you do strike it right in its as it was bounding. You hit it right in its upper arm, lower shoulderish area. The lightning splays off the side of it like an arcing display on the floor. As it twists around, lands on its back, and gets pushed this way from the force of the attack. And looking at it, you see that it's some of that electricity is still jumping off of it here and there on the ground, and it's kind of shaking for a second, not moving.
Nice.
It's a move and an attack.
Can I do it on the attack?
Yes. What?
Can I shoot this one?
Okay. 5.
Big numbers.
Oh, I got a 1. You see what happens when the DM tries to battle anything? Instant karma. Instant karma.
We don't practice enough.
It's true. I'm a benevolent. I'm benevolent in the dice. I don't really be knocking the dice like you should see. I mean, you've seen everyone when they get to battling. They can chain together some pretty impressive stuff. Was that a 7 on D8? That's pretty nice.
Oh, we should have done it.
We can do it next time.
See about this 5 though.
Ah, yes, I get. Oh yeah, on the 1. So this time you were able to moving around this direction, around where they're still struggling. Fire the arrow. And this time it's that familiar same yellow flash of electricity in the whole room as another burst of lightning jumps out of the next arrow. And this time it flies in a bit of an arc, so none of the electricity was against the ground, dancing off of it, trying to dissipate. But because of that, it is like a solid ball of electricity with the arrow. As soon as it hits this hulking wolf rat, square on over its head, the top of its head, even before the arrow can kind of sink into it, the electricity like blasts over it. As all of its skin is burned and charred, and like a whoosh sound. As it like falls over, trembling, you see that it's like its whole top half of its head has almost been charred away into nothing, and it's just a bloody mess lying there on the stone floor. All right, so now it comes to agility 4s, which are all the rats, and your agility 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead. As you're now, you've been watching lightning flash through the room, lightning flash through the room again. But looking up in the head, you see that Irving is still, trying to wrestle one of these hulking wolf rats off the top of him. Slippy's advancing forward, and you can already see Sprinkles over here on your right. Already kind of getting more arrows out of his.
I'm gonna do pretty much what Sprinkles did, except I'm going to take a step forward and then shoot at these two over there.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and that's adjacent, so you don't really have to roll for it because you're just stepping forward. So knocking an arrow in your
scorching bow.
In the scorching bow, stepping right up behind where Slippy is still poised. You right over the top of his head, draw the arrow back. Go ahead. 'Tis-01.
You know what? You need to warm it up. It's all good.
Oh, man, right at the box. A 1.
Whoa. We really did use up all of our luck.
So as you shoot the arrow out, this rat here actually attempts to kind of skitter this way to totally dodge it. The wall was on this side, so it literally slammed its face into the wall. Stunned, it goes to list away, like momentarily stunned, and your arrow hits that one spot right in between the wall and right where it just bounced away from it, skittering off the stone. The flames that erupted from the bow and shot out from the arrow hit the wall, and it does like a spray of fire, like spreading over it for that moment, leaving the whole, it's a black charred spot there, still smoking from the attack. So it momentarily stunned itself, but your shot just barely missed.
Gotta do a follow-up shot.
Yeah. 2.
See, it's a slow build.
That's
A 1.
better than the last one, though.
So this time, as you kind of lean almost,
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
you lean almost on your tiptoes over Slippy. You fire it lower this time. Shoom. Again, you can feel the heat coming off the top of it as it woof comes out from you. A whole fire just shh.
You're already in a desert. You ain't gotta turn up the heat.
This time you hit it right at the floor where it's at, and so the arrow almost goes between its legs, but the flames whoosh rush up around it for just a second. So now the whole thing is for a moment ablaze as it spins around desperately trying to put itself out. Oh, it fails.
Oh my god.
So now a flame, it's just going to spin around in this direction wildly.
Cool.
I'll just slowly put away my bow and equip my scimitar. And
Nice.
I'll be ready.
Shing. Familiar ring of steel as it comes around to all the other rats that haven't, well, let's see, dead, moment stun. Let's see if you can roll a recovery roll. A 1, he fails. God bless. Let's see if this one got knocked away by the torch. So his face was burned and that eye probably charred. But he does get to roll a recovery roll. He fails. And this one that was ablaze is going to try to wildly put himself out. A 4. Look at that. So he does, throwing his face onto the ground, like there's that momentary sound as he rolls around into the stone and the dirt. So he'll kind of get up, his whole body with blackened, charred patches amongst the fur and pink skin, with only like this side of his face that's not burned. But he hit a 4 to pop back up, so he's taken severe damage, but not dead. All right, and so for these two, this one's gonna roll for his movement roll, hitting a 3. So he'll advance close enough, bounding along, skittering along the wall, to where eyeing Slippy standing there with Drum right behind him. Getting his scimitar out. It's gonna be close enough to try to bound right at you. 4. A 2. You tried to sweep low off against the wall, and it ended up kind of landing almost hard against your side. Boom! To where your armor is in place over your chest, but it jumped with such force that it's going to land, try to do some scratching and biting as it kind of slides away. Which means that you take, 4 damage. Sheesh. I rolled a second 4. Hang on. 3. So you take 4 damage as it's... landing hard up on your shoulder and side. Its teeth raked across your head as it kind of slides and falls off of you from the force of the jump. So now it's right here against the wall, right where you're standing. And you literally just watched it land on him and fall off to the side. The speed roll for this one. 1. Good day. So we're going to say that seeing all these fallen, charred, crispy-looking rats out in front of it does cause this one to give pause as it slowly chitters around in this direction, like maybe trying to creep and stalk in on this downed opponent over here. All right, turn order resets.
Oh, wait, Egan.
Egan, look at this. Still standing in the doorway watching the battle unfold, holding his dagger in one hand and the torch still aloft in the other.
He's gonna attempt to move to the right of Drone.
On his right, you want to squeeze in here? Oh, that's left. You want to move out on his right here to where he's still engaging this downed wolf rat, or you can come around and try to either back up Slippy or advance on these guys, or
Be far enough, and then have him throw a dagger at that rat that's on Irving.
okay. Watching them for a moment, trying to line it up perfectly. He's got to really throw it high enough to where it hits the hulking wolf rat, and not low enough to where it may hit Irving.
He's also gonna scream out Irving.
Okay.
Pun intended.
All right.
Damage, hopefully not intended.
He's gonna yell, Irving, a knife. So roll a D. So I'll let Irving roll a D4 against that throw.
I can't say Irving. Already had this conversation.
Roll 4 against it. I mean, you don't need to now because the cast is accurate, but now you can roll a D4 just to see if you can hit some 4s. A 3. Hits the 6 on the dagger toss. As with the serrated dagger, he hurls it over his head, and it does a... And as you are struggling with that hulking wolf rat, its body momentarily did turn to the side. It strikes it right in its side, above its rib cage. Thunk, the blade going in 3 or 4 inches. Blood wells up instantly and starts running down its side as it squeals. Now it's going to roll to try to disengage off of Irving. Roll a 2. Do you roll to push it away or continue to grapple it?
I am in close quarters.
It is trying to get away from you, so...
Put in the rat lock.
Yeah. Let's do it, dude. I got 2 day. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and just like flip over, I guess, and just grapple it.
Nice. Yeah, so it rolled a 2 to try to get away. So as you felt it shift in its body as it's trying to spring and pounce away from you.
So I rolled 4.
Can you feel
You roll the D6 first,
Can you feel the dagger that's in it too?
and then if you want to add the 1D4, you can add the 1D4. A 4. So you don't need to.
Because you can use the dagger stuck in him, then have
is
Rat.
feeling the warm blood that's been trickling down your face from that nasty bite. You're already like kind of mad. So as you feel adrenaline pulsing through you, you rush your body up, flipping over top of it. And there's that moment where it's a live creature wriggling underneath you, massive and heavy. And so it's you can already feel its paws and its little claws start thrashing a bit as it's trying already to squirm and wiggle away.
I want to equip my shatter dagger and just have it.
Okay. So with your one arm down over the top of it, you draw the shatter dagger out. Mm-hmm. Roll a d6 for the strike. A 1.
No, I shouldn't. I knew I shouldn't have.
A 3. So that one actually goes about a foot high, thong. But as soon as it lands in the ground, you feel that instant sort of pulse or tremble of the earth around you from when you struck with the magic of the knife.
Oh.
There's a dagger already stuck in it.
I didn't. Can I tell that there's a dagger stuck in it at this point?
No, I mean you definitely felt it sticking to the stone.
No, I mean
No, the
this
one that
dagger
Ian
that Ian threw into it.
Oh well, because you flipped it over, the dagger was hit and knocked out of it, skittering away just a foot to perhaps one side or the other. But which side you can't tell.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh well, I'm gonna reveal it on the map, but you have to act like you don't see it.
I got you. Can I? Do I have enough time to just like pull it out and try again?
Yeah. Well, you did the first move to overpower, and then you got one strike in. So go ahead and take one more action.
Nice. I'm gonna do the same thing with the dagger that's already in my hand.
5, and that was the shatter dagger.
Yep.
So this time, as you swing the blade around wide, it strikes right into its chest as it was lying on its side. And then again, there's that familiar pulse of magic. This time from inside the rat itself, as its body just pulses out as its ribs like expand and its whole body bloats up from all of its bones and stuff breaking inside of it.
We got rat soup.
So just pulling the knife out, like its bloated body, spilling blood, is just lying dead beneath you.
Yeah, I figured
Nice.
Egan would help you before you help me. Since you guys did that
So,
one together.
So now it would be either Slippy's or Sprinkles' turn.
Let's get Baxter.
You go first. If you want.
I'm gonna use predate fangs on the.
On this wolf rat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Predate fangs.
It's gonna take a bite. A 1. And a 3. You do as you activate the move. You feel large, sharp fangs starting to poke and prod out between each other in front of your mouth. So lunging at it, you open your mouth and you attempt to really just bite right into it to take a chunk out of it, on the back of its head or at the back of its neck. It lunges kind of deftly underneath the attack, chunk, kind of where it's skittered under around you to where Drum is standing. So it's kind of now in between you, Drum, and itself in the wall here. Taking advantage, it's going to with a 3. Lunge kind of hard at your side to where you're turning to face it. So roll a d4 to try to evade. Battles my 3 and hits a 1. You can't dart out of the way in time as it latches itself onto your back. You feel, again, clawing scrapes of its hands and claws over your back as you feel sharp teeth bite into the top of your head. You take 3 damage.
We're gonna use predate stockpile.
Nice. Go ahead and roll for predate stockpile. Let's go. As you feel that impact, the predate stockpile will automatically, you feel it tremble as the kinetic force of it rumbles through the top part of your body. It's gonna be stored up into your chest while you're using it. Does it have a dice roll on it?
Actually, it does have a dice roll.
Oh, then of the 3 damage, you stockpiled 1 charge or 1 point on it. So just give it a plus. Put a +1 next to it that you have 1 stockpiled. Yeah, once it gets to 3, you can then
Okay.
you can unleash it. And that has been how much on damage really, because it was half rounded down. It was only 1. The So as it kind of is over your head now, scratching and clawing, biting. I'll give Drum an action here because you're directly adjacent. As it lunged around him, leaped up on his back before he could turn to face it, and is now scratching and clawing and biting at the top of his head. But you're kind of up behind it now, watching it happen. Because you were over his back just a second ago, firing arrows.
Well, I've got that scimitar, and he seems to be at a pretty clean spot for me to take a swipe. I think I'll take a swipe at the little fella.
Take a swing. As you take that one half step closer, stepping out, brandishing the scimitar behind you. A 3. Let's see if my D4s have been pretty hot tonight. So. A 3. The blade comes streaking out, almost hitting it so high up on its back that the blade almost glances off the top of its spine part. Not so much cutting it, but like smacking it on its back, and it's gonna slap against the wall, getting knocked off of his head, and off of his shoulders, bang, and it's gonna that moment where it kind of hits the floor and is kind of looking off in that direction before it's gonna turn to continue its attack, but it did get knocked clean off. Sprinkles.
All right. So is everything still prone?
No, as you were watching, he gained the upper hand, surging over top of it. You watch him stab once with he has a magical brown knife that has like elaborate silver engravings into the brown blade. As soon as he stabs it into the ground, you saw like the little woof of pulse of earth magic around it from what the ground like visibly moved. But then when he stabbed it again, like that magic went off inside its chest cavity, and like it.
He made the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
perhaps.
right. Well, I'll take a shot at this one.
Yeah, this one had
Pretty clear line of sight.
had been burned, recovered, and got back up to its feet in a rush of adrenaline, so it was getting ready to attack again.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Fire away.
What is that?
A 3 and a 1.
Let's go.
As you fire the lightning arrow, you can look away from where he's kind of struggling and kind of aim at this direction. Shh. And on a 3, the ball of lightning energy around the arrow is like half the size of the one it was before, and it trickles out like a comet a bit as it streaks out over here to where this one had really just recovered itself and was lurching forward, getting ready, coiling to strike. It's gonna hit it, right in its arm. Boom! As soon as it does, the lightning kind of sprays off of it in a bit of a wave.
The sound of it hit the one next to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That one was stunned still, so now it's gonna be double stun.
Oh, it rolled a 4. 2 4s. Man, so one of these is gonna get some resistance at some point. They're rolling pretty good.
Yeah.
So he doesn't take any additional damage, but he didn't gain any additional any bonuses. But this one got hit right on its forearm here, right underneath where its head and its neck is at. And so you hear the snap of the arrow and the shh of the lightning as it breaks out in a wave over its body. Yeah. It lets out a shriek, like dropping forward onto its shoulder for a second, shaking and trembling a bit from the stunning magic of the lightning. So it'll have to roll a recovery roll on its next turn, and its arm is unusable.
He's got that Vegeta pose going on.
The other 2 arrows I've used so far break. Should we wait till the end?
No, I don't think either one is
So,
broken yet, because you haven't really missed.
alright, so I haven't erased
Wait, the one that landed at this one's feet before, yeah, that one did break.
That was.
Oh,
Both of mine are broken.
oh,
right?
they are, yeah.
I haven't missed yet, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought you hadn't missed a shot.
So I still haven't moved yet either. Is it possible just to move right there, take a shot at that guy?
Okay, shot, move, shot. Yeah, and he is kind of, he was getting up from this, and so he's in the getting up motion because you're finishing your turn. Yeah, be mindful as you fire it down this lane.
Alright. As long as I don't roll a 1.
This one was sneaking, so it is going to get a D6 roll against it instead of a D4.
Wait, could me and him use twin shot? If he takes part of his action?
I don't think I can because I have the sword.
Yeah, he's got sword equipped, so he's swinging it now and facing this direction. Yeah, and you're on the other side of the room in the corner.
Okay. I still thought we could have both like aimed at it.
Yeah, but he's already kind of
Yeah.
adjacent, engaged in a battle.
Alright. No.
A 2 and a 2. As you fire it, It is a small little streak of electric that flares off the end of the arrow as it streaks it up, and because of the lining of the shot, it skitters off the wall, arcing in this direction. As it was, watching and sneaking and ready for it, it just moves forward enough to where as it skitters, a couple feet over its head, it lands against the ground back here, broken. 10 feet, still not close enough. Nice. So now it comes down to agility 4s. Go ahead.
I guess I'll just continue with my scimitar. So
Rip them apart.
yeah, I mean, I'll just take some swings at it, I guess.
All right, go ahead. You had already knocked it away from him, and it landed there, kind of getting up, but facing the other direction. So stepping up behind it, and Slippy is, right there in front of you, up off on your right. Just gonna angle your sword in to hit it where it's pinned.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Goodness gracious, how embarrassing.
A 4.
Let it be known that I have consecutively rolled 1, 2, 3,
1.
and 4.
Let's.
Nice.
I called the gradual.
I know what your
build-up.
next. I know what your next rolls are gonna be.
Yeah, now it's gonna reset.
But it rolled a 1 on your 4, and so this slash, you lean in, and you hit it heavy on its hindquarters. Your blood splashing into the stone floor in front of you. It squeals, falling away, like lurching its whole body away. Its blood's running down the side of it now from the deep attack. But it's now close enough to where you're at, to where as you were turning, it got knocked away from you, and you had to shuffle forward just a little bit as he leaned in hard. But now as you're turning, stepping back, it's slumped against the wall, shying away from him, with a huge gash along its leg.
Can I use my predate things again?
Yes.
For, can I use that 1 charge of stockpile damage, or do I have to wait until it's up to 3?
No, you can use it now.
Alright, I'll also use that 1 charge of stockpile.
So using that charge will give a +1 to this roll. 7 + 1. That is an 8. I mean, anything I roll won't make a difference, and especially not a 2. So this time, with large, thick, dark, gnashing teeth jutting out from your mouth, you lunge at it, catching it totally off guard, hitting it right over the back of its neck and not its head, just biting in as deep as you can. Bites through the fur and skin easily, and you taste the muscles and sinew inside. You feel bone and you crunch into it. Its neck snaps and it's hanging limply out of your mouth.
Can I also use predate glutton at this moment?
Yes, I mean it's you swept in and did it. You can link it up.
This will be turned into a gory Pac-Man.
A 4. So as you start to gobble and swallow
Can I
it.
use Raven predate for the attempt to get
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Roll again. A 1.
I only got 1 more Raven predate photo.
Okay.
It is
Clutch.
out of there.
Game. An 8. The most clutch. Roll it again.
Roll it again. Nice.
Destroy. Break the walls. Ooh, a 7. Almost.
Good roll.
So as you gobble it up in one fell, you can already sort of feel it settling inside your stomach. I mean, it was big, round, and bulbous. But you ate it up in like 2. Your mouth got bigger, stretching out to kind of swallow it and gnash it up with your teeth. So instead of giving you this rat's fang type attack move, I'll level up predate fang. How many times was it a day?
3 a day.
I'll make it. Do you want to use it more a day and keep it at the D8, or would you use it less a day and have it scale up to a D10?
Yeah, have it scale up to a D10.
Okay, so you can use it 2 a day, and it's called predate hyper fang.
Do I completely lose predate fang?
Yeah, it becomes predate hyper fang now. Yeah, and it becomes 2 a day instead of rolling a D8. Instead of rolling a D8, you roll a D10. Oh well, I mean, you already have learned 4 moves. If you don't want to learn this one, you just have to cancel it.
That is a lot, dang.
So then instead, I'll just level up Predate Fang to 4 times a day.
There it is. This D10 is risky.
Yeah, you can wind up doing 1 damage. Or at all.
And for hitting the 8 on that, it'll give you a rate point.
Very cool.
Probably 24.
Gobbled up, consumed.
Yeah, 24 is the race skill.
I'm at
I don't think I ever got my.
You
race
can
skill.
take another action.
I will unequip my scimitar and re-equip my scorching bow.
Okay. Shink. There was a scimitar, and as you ready your bow, you can. I don't know if you would have time to attack this turn.
Well, really, I'd be ready because I think all these guys are down, and then there's that guy, and I was thinking we could finally do our dual shot when it comes around to his turn.
Okay. They'll get reaction rolls first because they're agility 4s.
These guys are just down.
Yeah, they're down. So the only roll that they're going to get is going to try to be like a getting up roll.
Mhm.
So it may not succeed, or it may.
So yeah, I'll just be prepared with my bow.
Okay. So knocking it, you can, as soon as you draw it back, you can already feel the heat radiating off the weapon as you're drawing the arrow back. It's agility 4s. Well, I'll say this one actually wasn't stunned or anything at all. So he'll take his first action. Being careful to creep and sneak around the attacks. He's going to try to do a lunging pounce directly at Irving's back while his back is turned. Roll d4.
Did Egan see it?
He's standing over him about 8 feet away. So yes, a 3.
Hey.
As you can hear it chittering up behind you, you turn just in time to hear its scraping of its claws against the ground. As you're sure it's going to pounce right at you. So, and you can, does Egan want to use his part of his next action to back him up?
Yeah.
Okay, then he can, trying to step up around. This one's dead. Step around that body to where you're spinning. He can either rush up around him or kind of back up to defend him or throw something that range.
He's gonna attempt to grab it with you, so you both can throw it. So they grab it.
Nice. So then it's going to. So then I will let him roll a d4 with your d6 against this attack. It rolled a 1, 4, a 2. So as it lunged up at you and he rushed up to your side, it does kind of as you reach your.
Thanks for the
Egan's theme music just starts playing.
Irving, no!
Trying to tag the hulking wolf rat as you turn and kind of slams into your chest, surprising you, pushing you back a step. But Egan is right there behind you to grab and brace you as some of it, the wolf rat's body kind of comes over to the side to where he's kind of cradling its back hindquarters, scratching, and the whole front of it is here over on your chest. So you did momentarily catch it.
What do we do now?
Do we want to keep it?
And recovery roll, a 3. That one succeeds. This one's going to get back up.
You made that last
Recovery roll 3. This one is going to. Well, this one's been down for a while. This one's going to get back up, and recovery roll 2. This one's going to fail. So these two rats have already woozily, with burns and gouge. This one had burns from your attack, and this one had been hit previously too. So as they're both kind of getting up slowly, woozily.
Oops. Thank you, sir.
This one is going to be close enough to try to see if he can launch an attack against Egan. With a 3, it'll succeed. Egan has to roll 1d4 to evade.
Oh my goodness.
Tries to smite the 3. Smites the 3 into a 2 and lands a 1.
Oh.
This rat is, springing at him. It's gonna first of all try to scratch and claw at his feet, to which Egan then, backs up, letting go of that rat that he was half hanging onto. Roll d6 to try to hang on, try to get your arm around it more firmly. With a 3, you're not able to, as it slips out of your grasp and lands on the floor at your feet.
Can I add a d4 to that?
Yes. Yes, hold on. Go ahead.
Don't want to use this.
Hey, with a 2, that would do it.
It was a 4.
Oh, it was a 4. Oh, wow, holy flip.
Oh, dang.
That was a 3. But
Yeah, so with a 4, instead of, as you have to duck down for a second and reposition your body, you grab it firmly around its body like this, and it's thrashing and moving around. Its mouth is on this side, so if you continue to hang on to it like this, it will certainly bite you.
okay.
Egan backed up as this one scratched, and then actually leaped up at him again. He went to swing with his knife, but did it too soon. As it was coming down, it
No,
causes...
he doesn't have his knife anymore. He dropped it.
Oh, he didn't have
Oh, he
enough.
has another
He didn't
knife.
draw another one as he was fighting.
Oh, yeah. I'll have another dagger.
He swung with it, but the raking scratches along his arms deal 1 damage.
What is he gonna?
He's had a lot of damage. His total is 12. That's like his first damage.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. You're gonna have some 6 scars.
Maybe a disease.
All right, so now it comes back around to the top of the turn order. Agility 6s.
7s.
Oh wow, agility 7. He's faster than my expectation.
So can I tell if any of them are still like breathing? Because if they are, I
Yeah,
don't want to...
there's one lunging and gnashing it.
I've got one in my arms. I'm stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are gripping one, literally thrashing wildly. It may bite you at any moment.
What's that?
Snap his neck.
Can I try to grab it by its neck and then just kind of choke it out?
Roll d6.
Give it the old dang old primary lotus.
I don't want that one. That's a 5.
A 1. So shifting it in your weight, you get a hard lock around its neck, with its head whipping out in front of you, and its thick body like pumping this way and that behind you. Getting your other hand over it now, you start squeezing, right? You getting a better grip. You then lean forward, just letting out a yell.
The rat naked choke. The rat naked choke.
Nice.
It's continuing to thrash, in your arms for a moment, and then another one, and then as it slowly kind of fades out, you hear something if you crush something in its neck.
Nice.
Boy, you went night night.
It falls down to the floor at your feet, not moving.
Nice. Do I hear any other around?
There is one, as you kind of drop it and go to turn away, you hear Egan kind of screeching as he's kind of shuffling back.
Can I offer a game plan? Just real quick.
I would love to hear what you have to say.
Can you grab Egan and get out of the way, and the two of us can just shoot him?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
literally running him, grab him, the two of us. Bow.
One shot.
Yeah.
Since I don't really know what's going on, as far as I just hear him scream and know that they're over there together, can I just run and try to tackle Egan?
Yeah, you can.
You just
Yeah,
pull him
it'll
like a
finish.
beast.
It'll finish your turn. You roll
Hit him with
d6.
the classic.
Yeah, but I would rather try to
If you
get
push me, you might
him
run
just
into
out of
somebody.
that area right now. Because if I just walk up and then pull it, or if I run up and pull him, we'd
So,
just-
are the two of you going to time your
I'd rather be on the
your
Well,
dual
actually,
shot
if you
Twin
move
shot?
him
your
away,
twin shot to where when Irving lunges forward, knocking down Egan, you're going to have a clear line of fire? You want to kind of line it up?
We drop
Yeah.
it.
I think
Okay.
it's already
Honestly,
fine.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I just
honestly,
tackle him.
I feel like
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
280.
True. If the air doesn't get it, then we'll already be on the ground, so we can both just stab.
Did you roll the d6 for your tackle?
Oh!
Hit the 3.
Oh, I didn't mean
Oh.
Well, the 4 stayed a 4 at least.
Okay.
So you well, that means you're not going to really get good timing on the shot. You
I'm gonna miss him.
with a 1, you go lunging forward, your arms like this, and you do smash into him. But the two of you kind of smash hips as the both of you get bowled over. Boom, boom.
Oh man. I got you, buddy.
So now that he's lying out here for a moment in front of where you're aiming, and he's kind of face down the same way, lying over where you're aiming. Both of you have your arrows knocked and ready. And that was a 4 and a 3. Okay. A 1. So both arrows, as you thum them almost at the same time. The room erupts again in a bright flash of fire and lightning. It's the fireball that comes out of the tip of the arrow from your bow, thum, and the lightning that shrieks and arcs out of the arrow of your bow. They both kind of slam into it at the same time. And there's that bright dual red and yellow flash of magic. They both strike it and really blast its body into pieces.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's that spray of chunk of bone and skin and flesh, and then it silts down around it.
Epic.
So now you can finish taking your turn, or you can take your turn.
Yeah, you can finish your turn.
I can take another shot at this guy, can I?
Yeah. And he's roused himself up, trying to find looking through 's haze of pain to try to find a moment to rush forward and strike.
Since it's a little further away, can I
Yeah.
use my longbow while I get in the minute?
At this close quarters, I mean, you won't really get an advantage because it's really meant for mid and long range where you get the
I'll
advantage.
use my
in.
thunderbolt.
Oh, 1.
It had to happen. Battle.
And a 2. You want me to... Sheesh. Tilting the arrow tilting the bow this direction. As soon as you loose the arrow, there's a bit of electricity that jumps out the tip of the arrow, but hardly any as it streaks straight out. Missing by like 2 feet on this side, striking the wall back here and breaking.
Yep.
Can I still move?
Yes.
I'll move up. I'll just move up as far as I can.
Roll d6 to see how far. The 6. Well,
Let's go.
when he's not attacking, his rolls are packing. So you're able to hop and then lunge forward. Oh, well, you did pass by a dagger sitting here on the ground.
I'll pick it up.
It was a serrated dagger.
Okay. I'll go back to Egan.
Lunging forward, you land right here.
Throw it and stick it in the ground next to him.
Already turning to face this hulking wolf rat, limping a little bit, getting ready to rush into attack. Slippy's turn. Best. This thing's gonna... Thank you. I'll get you on the... Get you on the next one. The
You predate dart to close the gap between me and it.
You and who?
The hulking wolf part.
This one?
Yeah.
So this one is down. As you go to turn around to see this one, you notice this one was still down. Its whole arm bleeding like this, limp, weakly, as it's kind of dragging itself forward. It had taken another shot and was still kind of lying there, chittering, trying to get back up to its feet. As you turn around, it's right in front of you.
And I'm gonna start trying to eat it.
You want to use a predate move, or will you just attack
I'm gonna
it?
use predate gluttony again.
You want going for the hyperfang again? Oh, a 6, nice.
8.
It hits a 4. I hit the 1.
You shouldn't have had so much anger in that second roll.
What? It's a
Yeah,
D4, and that's a heavy boy.
definitely
I knew I was gonna have to. I was gonna have to really hit it.
4 for 4.
Yeah, but when you were calm, you hit the 4.
He
Should've
said-
just let it flow.
Try. I let anger
said
cloud
it.
my mind. I followed the
You should
path
give
of
it to
the
dark side, that's
the
way
path of the
to
Sith. I can't be like that.
go. Okay.
Mm. But that was enough for as you, lunge at it and try to sweep it up in your grasp. You do, and you like bite into it. At the same time, it squeals, letting out a shitter, and lets a bite directly into your shoulder. So you do grasp onto it with your teeth firmly in it. 3 on a 2. So you do take. Well, that was for the damage. You take 3 damage. And that was 1 move and a counter, so you can do 1 more thing.
I'm gonna drink a healing potion.
Yeah, you're still like with your teeth in it clenched as it's gnashing and biting at your shoulder.
Am I getting fed from this?
You don't get any HP from it. Though your teeth are you just put a serious bite mark on its back, and it had bit you back as you're kind of chomping into it. So you're kind of in the middle of that action. So yeah, you can stop and like try to drop quaff the potion. Though I wouldn't say that would give it an advantage when the next spot comes around.
I'm gonna use flee and unhinge my jaws.
Flea will attempt to like. Well, I guess it would normally let you escape a battle like out in the field, but because you're in kind of like this dungeon-esque setting, moving from room to room, Flea would attempt to have you like back up and leave the room.
Would I just go to the next room?
You can flee back to the corridor, the curved corridor that you were in before.
Once a day. This will be my first time ever using flee.
Nice. Go ahead, roll it up.
Is it there's no D anything, it's just 1 a day.
Oh, it's a D6.
Oh. Let's go.
Hits a 1.
What do you mean by that?
I'm offended.
So in your attempt to flee, you lunge backwards. Drum, roll to get out of the way. A 6. Roll it again.
Hey!
So you dart in this direction, to where Egan is still kind of lying, face up, as Slippy goes kind of flipping behind you. Woof! In a flip, you land like 8 feet back, and you're at the edge of the room. So you didn't flee; you did like do the motion as you flipped straight backwards 8 feet.
It was good enough escape.
And you're standing over Egan. Do you help him to his feet?
Oh, yes, sorry. Do I roll for that?
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
Yeah, reaching down and grabbing him by the hand, you hoist him easily up to his feet, right? He lands, you can see he's got blood from a couple of deep scratches on his arm, well, running down to his elbow.
You gonna give him some new clothes or something?
I'm just gonna like start. I'm gonna start freaking out. I'm gonna be like, "They cut you! They cut you!" And just start screaming,
Scream.
screaming, Slippy. They cut Egan!
They bit me too!
Say, I can't believe it. They damaged our NPC.
We're the ones that
He's just ripping his clothes off.
But it's cool.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back.
Like a clothes beam. Right?
This encounter with these 7 hulking wolf rats is, well, you could say it's drawing towards a conclusion. Though everyone is darting about, launching their attacks back and forth to keep these wolf rats at bay. There's really only 2 of them left. As it's now comes around to the turn, well, the agility 5s. Agility 5s, so then it goes to the agility 4s.
Namekian Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off.
What
screaming,
you gonna do?
What you gonna do, brother?
Well, we'll go ahead and let Drumomania run wild on him, brother.
Drumomania is running wild.
Oh, I'll give you. That's a rave point.
Nice.
Cutting a savage promo is such a valuable skill.
What are you rats gonna do when the drum starts banging on the beat?
Hulkamania's just a single grain of sand in the Sahara Desert that is drum madness. Ooh, yeah. No agony, no braggony. Ooh, yeah. I'd like to prepare my scimitar again. And I'll say, Egan, get out the way.
So you kind of had him by his hand, right? As you helped him to his feet. You know, as you viciously bellow out, you know, about Drumomania, he like balks away at the volume of your voice.
Holy crap!
As you, still holding him by his hand, like just pull him around in front of Slippy. You know, stepping forward, drawing the scimitar.
And I'll use focus.
Great,
And yeah, I'm gonna use focus to do my prepared stance with the scimitar for when either of them go for me.
Okay.
I'll just be ready with it.
So,
Poncho and the
3.
drum set.
stepping forward, holding the scimitar behind you, your shoulder, you know, your body set sideways, facing them. You take a stance, just kind of focusing your thoughts, honing in that moment. This one over here was, you know, twitching on its on one arm flayed, trying to get back up to its feet. And this one was on its feet, you know, its body burned and charred on one side. Through some sort of will, it's kind of lurching forward, getting ready to strike at someone.
Go ahead, make my day.
So as it comes around to the agility 4s, this one's gonna roll a recovery roll. A 1 and fails. Wow.
Ooh.
That Hulk and Wolf Rat sucks. This one, you know, getting close enough to be within range as it sees you poised there, statuesque, your eyes locked in on it. It's going to attempt to launch itself at you, mouth open wide, you know, yellow chipped teeth flashing. A 2. A 1 plus a 1. 2, you bring your scimitar around. You try to bring it around in a wide, decapitating sideward strike. But as it arrived almost at the same time you flipped your blade around, you smacked it in the face with the flat side of your scimitar blade. It gets knocked hard to the side and lands a couple of feet out in front of you. As you're in the rest of your swing, looking down, it's you know, preparing to coil again and lash out at your legs. So I'm gonna roll. Both of you roll d4. You hit the 4. A 4.
Oh.
A 2. A
Oh.
4. 3 4s.
Oh,
Let's keep that one out of you.
A 2. But that's enough for you to leap out of the way one way as it hops and bites, and then to leap back another way as it hops at you and bites. You know, as you bring your scimitar back around this way, you're so close to it, the only thing you could do is maybe kick it.
oh, I'll kick it.
Roll a d6.
Dang.
Good.
Kick that dice right off the
Kicked it so
table.
far away.
Kicked it off the other side of the table. Folks, the dice are flying. A 2. Lashing out with the bottom of your boot, you hit it right in the side, boof, knocking it back away. So now it's 1 square away, or 5 feet away. So as you attacked, dived back, swung around again, and kicked it hard. You know, it's still kind of poised there. One of its teeth that you would hit with the flat side of your blade is totally broken off, off on the top. It's like a little chip.
Cool.
I know Dennis by the name of Master Splinter.
They fix you right.
So, coming around to the top of the turret order.
Oh wait.
Oh, Egan.
Egan's the-
See, this NPC, he shan't be forgotten. Keep wanting to skip over his turn. But he did get...
Is that one alive?
Yeah, again, it was
Barely.
immobilized,
Stunned.
shuffling around on the ground,
He's
stunned.
useless.
Failed its,
So as Egan got sort of brushed back by Drum as he stepped forward with his scimitar, he's eyeing it out here, about 10 feet ahead of him. Again, its face halfway onto the ground, its arm dragging, letting out blood as it's shuffling forwards.
I'm gonna have Egan turn around and sprinkle a healing herb on me. On Slippy. You see Slippy is hurting. I'm sorry for the bias. And then he's gonna turn around and throw a dagger at the down wolf or stun wolf rat and be like, I I'll protect you like you protected me, Slippy.
Turning, he holds out the healing herb and he smashes it against your face. It like it like slides down the front of your face and like and like the leaves and crumbling stuff breaks off of it as it falls over your face in a smear.
10 HP.
Yeah. He then, turning back towards this downed, injured-looking, hulking wolf rat, draws a what dagger?
Serrated dagger. No, but when he gave that dagger back to him, he just had a regular dagger. So
Okay.
it would just be a regular dagger.
Add to this. So
Yeah, I think Sprinkle still does have the serrated dagger.
There's a D6.
Breaking the walls down. 3. Well, 4.
Oh.
So he throws it. He throws it right, and it lands right in front of it, kind of hitting it, flipping over from the skidder. The handle edge bouncing off of it before it falls away and lands over here to the side.
Slippy says to him, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
I'll give Slippy a rave point. It's pretty good.
Nice.
I'm at 25.
Yeah, at the end of combat, we're gonna get raised.
I yeeted that somewhere. I got stuff with these.
So now, as it comes around to the top of the turn order, Irving gets back up to his feet. You did hear the clang of a knife against the ground as Egan threw a shot. But as you turn, trying to focus your hearing, you can hear drums swinging and a clang and a boof out in front of you.
Drumomania.
His Drumomania is literally is running wild, literally feet from you.
You ain't got eyes. I know you got ears, bird. You hear it coming to you.
What you gonna do? Ooh, yeah.
Dig it. So,
Snap into a honey cake. Ooh, yeah.
so turning and hearing him swinging and striking, he must be fighting something out in front of him.
Well, I want to be fighting that thing too, I think. So I'm going to go and try and put my blades where he's putting his blades. I'm going to take a swing and a swing.
So holding your both knives out in front of you, you lunge forward, and he had just let out a kick. So as you landed, you're running up next to him, weapons brandished. And he had just kicked it in the side, so he did knock it away. So as you rush up next to it, go ahead and roll for that first lunging towards it with your knife.
5.
Nice. 3. So as that knife lunging forward with your left hand slices into it, you feel a burst of wind break out from in front of you. The slash, tears open a little bit, about 5 inches. As blood blasts out from it, you feel that all your feathers from that rush of wind from the attack, and it slides it back even further.
Cool.
You follow up with the other dagger.
Yep.
Go ahead. A 1.
No.
You lunge out, dramatically yelling, echoing off the walls of the room, going, "Ha!" You were about 3 feet out in front of it. The wind did blow it back out of range. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. What was it?
Drumomania burst with a feather.
Is that all my turn?
Yeah, you lunge forward and did 2 swings, and you did watch him slash it back, and that same gust of wind that blew out from his knife, you felt it, over your face, blowing away some of the sweat.
Nice.
You did watch that wolf rat and get pushed back. Irving's next dramatic move was a swinging around strike, a stab, but he hit only air.
Well, he created a lot of air.
And then struck that air. Agility 6s.
Wind noise.
Can I clear the distance to here?
10, 15. Yeah, just roll a d6 for how quickly you can run around this direction. A 6. Roll it again.
Roll it again.
A 5. So yeah, with a 6, you sort of hopping foot over foot, you leap around in this direction. What weapon do you have?
my form daggers.
Form daggers.
Yeah.
Shink, shink. Drawing both daggers out, one in a slicing position and one in a stabbing position. You start creeping towards this one as it, got kicked and then blasted away with a sharp gust of wind magic, sliding it back. It looks stunned as if turning around to face them again, but doesn't seem aware of your presence.
I'm just gonna try to do a regular old stab. In the back.
Oh, 6.
Oh,
Roll it
man,
again.
That stab ain't regular, degular.
2. Well, it did hit a 4 and a 1, but not enough as you rush up to it with the slashing dagger, right, holding it out in front of you. You thunk, stab it right up in its rib cage, lifting it up off the ground for a moment. It shrieks, writhing over your blade as it whips its body around with teeth and fangs to try to bite you. With a 1. 2. Well, to not take any damage from its bite, you then push it down, it falling off your blade with a and it landing on its side in front of you. Boof. Will you movement attack, and you dropped it. But yeah, go ahead if you want to, because it is injured and sort of scrambling there on the ground.
Double tap. I gotta reroll that.
The interference was perfectly balanced.
I call it.
Oh.
A 2. This time as you try to get in closer to slash at it, it's so close to over your feet to where you stop and try to get at it. Its legs and teeth are already gnashing around on its side. So you have to kind of step back as it out with its teeth, almost biting you around your boots. Agility 6. You're back at the entrance of the room. As everyone else, is moving in, converging on the rest of the downed wolf rats, attacking them and pushing them back.
I give Egan a pat on the shoulder, and I tell him I won't let him down again. And then let him know it's about to be slime time.
Is it Slime Mania?
Drum Mania slime time. Ooh, 100 pay-per-view.
Monday, the dice action goes down at Castle Day Mill.
Duel in the dungeon. Dig it.
Dig it!
I'm gonna use predate dart and predate kick against that down one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell out slime time while I'm doing it.
Nice. As your body surges forward with the predate dart, you yell, "It's slime time!" Us. Oh, a 1. You hop forwards, covering half the distance.
Slime 30.
It's quarter to slime time. So now you can do predate kick. 3. Swinging around like this, you catch it hard on its side, lifting it up off the ground just for a moment as it slaps against the wall. Stunned, it kind of lands dazed, kind of looking up now around at the room in front of it. Blood is still oozing out of its arm here, but it's kind of balanced, resting up against the section of the wall. So your kick lifted it up and away, but didn't really, didn't do more than slap it against the wall. That was predate dart, predate kick. One more move.
I'm gonna just move in front of it, and just so it can't try to get around me against Egan.
So realizing that Egan is still standing behind you over your left shoulder, you slide like this towards the wall closer. Nice. So it will come around. Well, it would come back around to. Well, I'm gonna give this one more recovery action. A 3. And so in a last, with everyone else closing in, it's going to take one last desperate attempt to dart away from you to where you're closing in on it up against the wall. And lunging over this way, spring at Drum's feet to try to bite at your legs with a 4.
Roll again.
Attack that phone.
D4 or D6?
D6, because you're ready. Oh, it's a 5. Backing up away from this one as it lunges at you. It lands to where you're in front of it now, and you can kick this one. Go ahead.
Reroll your 4.
Can I stomp on it?
Wait, I got a second 4. Hang on. Oh, and a 1. Never mind. You had to step back, and so if you stomped now, you'd have to really step forward. If you want to do like a swinging kick or moving closer to it or step away.
Don't touch that drum set.
My drums.
Kick it.
Yeah, I'll just kick it.
You like punch it like balls.
See, could I like hop forward and just land on it with both feet?
Roll d4.
Call that the double kick base.
A 1.
Dang.
You do hop forward with 2 feet, but only cover the distance to get right up to it, landing in front of it.
All right, then I'll kick it.
Roll a d4 now.
Ah.
It did
Out of the box.
like a board.
It's like a rail slide.
Okay.
A 1.
Oh goodness.
You
gracious.
go to move your back leg out of the way to kick it. You weren't fast enough because if you sort of bring around to try to kick it, it's going to try to take a turn to try to dodge it. 4. It does dart straight out of the way back, but now it's adjacent to Slippy. So now as Drum is rushing towards it, stomping and swinging his legs. It's backing up once and twice, darting back with its back moving towards you.
Kill it.
I'm gonna use bird call.
Okay.
And this bird calls for Irving.
Hey.
A 5. So putting your hands to your mouth, you'll let and one of those shrill kind of off-pitched noises. Instantly, your skin like breaks out into goosebumps. So your feathers sort of ruffle a bit as your ears it feels like pins, or for a moment, are just like prinkling your eardrums.
That's all.
I can't see, but I can see you right now.
Yeah, it was, he was literally right 10 feet straight out in front of you as he did it.
Hey, buddy.
And then there's that moment after he does it where everything echoes off the walls and like you could hear it ringing off your eardrums. It was shrill.
Why did you do that?
Oh, it's just let you know where the enemy is because we're about to do some stupendous slam on it.
Yeah, I mean, Drum and Slippy and Irving are kind of standing around it now. It's been kicked around in that direction.
It's about time for that stupendous finish.
Let's do it.
And Sprinkles is kind of walking up on this one, ready to finish that one too. So will the three of you then do a stupendous move?
Yeah. Yes.
All of you roll a 1d6.
Stupendous triple finisher.
A 2.
It's a 2, no.
A 1.
Oh my god.
Battle's a 1.
Battles the 1 into a 5 and lands a 6. Roll that
Dude,
6
hit my
again.
Hit my 2, please.
Battles the 2 into a 5.
Good, there, let's go.
Let's go.
6, 5, 5.
Nice.
So as you put the bottom part of your body over the back of its tail and the back of its hindquarters, pinning it down for the moment. This time, as you step forward, one kick comes around wide and it catches it, cracking across the side of its face with your boot.
Boom.
Crack. Its head rocks away, but because it's pinned to the spot, it doesn't really move. You heard the spot where it was at from the crack of the attack. So running in with both your daggers low, you swoop in your wings straight out behind you. The knives both go shunk up into it. Because the blades both have magical properties and the daggers activated so close together, there's a bit of a surge of earth magic that rocks through your body, and the whole rat just breaks for a moment and then poof, explodes in a rush of earth and wind magic. This top chunk of it flying up off, spiraling this way, the bottom chunk of it slamming against the stone floor. The wind splays the blood and the bone all over the wall. Back in this direction, and Slippy, you're like coated with like blood and gore.
That's ain't cool.
It tastes delicious.
Its whole body blasted, exploding.
And
in
then the
this
three
direction.
of us all hit a pose.
That's the Zinni force right there.
Yeah.
The stupendous force.
So now that just leaves Sprinkles. As you were walking up to this last one, you had slashed it and stabbed it and pushed it back with your attack. Though, so as you're kind of walking up on it now, it's again with a big wound in its side, struggling to get back up to its feet.
Let's try to just finish it off.
before, putting your boot over the top of it, you hold it down. So taking the dagger out, the form dagger, you just right into its neck, and it only just shudders for a moment before dying dead. So the battle is over as you draw the knife out and look over to see them. They had just finished up, holding it down and kicking it, stabbing it, and you did hear that.
Slime time. Drum mania. Bird call.
Squawk. Squawk. It's my victory roar.
So there is that familiar silence after a battle when everyone kind of stops what they're doing and turns and looks to make sure everyone is okay. You can see just blood and gore running down the wall over here, and dead hulking wolf rat bodies laying broken, charred, and blown apart all over the room.
How many bodies are there?
There's only there's 4 bodies, 1 bloated body, and 2 that have been blown into pieces.
Can I take 2 of the regular bodies?
I'm gonna take the downtime to sing a victory tune.
Go ahead. A 3.
While he's singing the victory tune, I want to be eating one of the full bodies because I'm a bird. Birds love mice.
Cats like mice too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
These when you saw them, were so
Oh, my
big
soul.
and bloated that a lot of the fur was gone. It was the pink stretched over veiny skin, and so they were like big, massive, over muscular, mutated looking hulking wolf rats. So each one was this big around and thick. So
Cool.
you know,
I want to put one in my inventory.
hulking
and just
wolf
eat
rat?
it. Yeah.
I took 2.
two.
Good thing the Zupinus pest control was there.
Does anybody else want this last hulking wolf rat? If not, I'm
I'll
gonna save it
take
for
it.
later. Okay.
We're already eating enough.
Hulking wolf rat.
If you want to eat some, eat the mashed up bits. It's very tender on
And everyone gets 35 experience.
I level over.
Level up. We got going to level 5.
Is it
Level 5.
700?
Let's go. 31. How much?
35.
35.
That puts me at 730.
That puts Egan at 204. He's now level 3.
Level ups all around. Let's go. Yeah, level 5 is 2, 3, 4, 700.
So I'm level 5. And I also get a raise.
Levels. Nice. And so the battle subsides, and they start ravaging bodies, scavenging them together. It's that familiar, quiet echoing through the room as you're, putting the bodies in your inventory, and one gains experience. So you move from level 4 sprinkles to level 5.
I also gained a raving skill. And
Ah.
So did Slippy. We're both at 24 rate points.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you got extra.
Hey.
Your agility goes up by 1. Your strength goes up by 1. And your max HP goes up by 1.
Yeah, we had to show you
Max
how
AP goes up by 2.
Nice.
He's gonna go back to the convoy and be like, hey, yo, you ain't gonna believe what
You have a
we did."
prestige token. Roll a d20.
Never
I'm
mind.
level 3 now.
An 11.
Upper half.
That gives me something though.
Yeah, you'll get an item.
Nice. Yeah, you get a prestige token after you complete one of Ruby's campaigns.
Hey.
Yeah, man. It's a prestige token times 2, actually.
Oh, it's leveled up. Shit,
'Cause there's 2 campaigns up there.
let's go.
I mean,
You're too legendary. You're too legendary. You
It was the
absolute
Buddy
legend.
campaign and then the Guts one.
what
I missed some of the Guts one, but I was still there at the beginning and the end. So.
Then you caught you caught the parts you needed to catch for sure, especially at the end because it was fun at the end.
Oh yeah.
what does prestige token do? I'm sorry.
Whenever you level up, you get to roll a d20 and it gives you an item.
Sick.
Yeah.
Levels. So you pick up. Actually, is this all your? Are these all your skills?
That's everything.
So Prowl levels up to
Sneak.
Feline form moves up to a 1d8.
Oh.
Let's see.
Should just went feline form and like attack the rats.
I really did think about just going at it with a primal aspect. Just
I feel like I was really like I took no damage. Like
Yeah, as far as using archery and distance moves, I mean, you did pretty good to suppress a lot of them and keep them back and injure them.
I made like 3 shots in a row. I killed 2 of those in the first shot. The other one stayed stunned for like 2 or 3 turns. Like,
off the rails in 11 still.
I'm also gonna eat a healing herb KP potion.
Nice.
I'll write that in.
That's leveling up.
I just want Alright.
Should we take maybe an intermission while you're waiting?
Oh yeah, while I'm leveling everyone up, instead of y'all just standing by, we'll take a brief intermission. Should y'all get up, stretch, have a drink, hydrate. We're gonna take a quick 5. Necessity break while we level up everyone who gained their experience. Everyone's gonna get all their skills, and we'll let you know. Everyone tell you what they got and stuff when we come back. It'll be a brief intermission.
We'll see you this time.
Clickety clack. I roll like I'm on crack.
Yeah,
Fives in the board.
I gave Egan 2 healing herbs, remember?
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Come back, StevieMillPlays. I hope everyone had a good intermission. Hope you got to stretch out. Get a snack.
Stretch your legs. Drink water. Stay in school. Make good choices.
Yeah.
So when we had done the intermission, the group had just got done slaying a large group of those hulking wolf rats right in their nest room, or this room that they had appropriated for their nest room anyways. Maybe it had been sleeping quarters at some time. Again, with the occasional bones that you saw gnawed lying around as you were fighting. It's definitely apparent that people had been either here before or brought here. Either them or their bones. We put all the bodies away, as far as the bodies of the wolf rats you wanted to recover. And from there, you did notice, as you know, now that you have a chance to kind of hold your torch aloft and slowly take a look around the room. Egan did get all his weapons back. This is a dagger that he had dropped.
Egan does have a little bulge on his right.
Okay.
Is that 2 healing herbs? Yeah, 2.
So everyone, a couple players had gained some levels. So some max stats went up. Some skills got gained. Players hit level 5 too, so that's a kind of a milestone level. So made some of their other skills cheaper. A move that Irving picked up linked into a previous move that he has. So now he can do Calm Heart. And actually, you normally use that move on other people and other things around you. But if you use that move on yourself to prepare yourself for the turn, then it gives you can attempt to add an advantage to Calm Strike. So instead of rolling a D8 on Calm Strike, if you succeed, you roll a D10. So you have to succeed on the Calm Heart.
That's
And I know Egan. Egan also hit level 3. Gonna have to give him a character graphic now if you guys want to keep him in the group, and he's gaining all these levels. So yeah, I'm gonna change some of those level stats over there to level 5 for the next stream too. So you guys.
You can also gain a class.
Oh yes, Egan.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully the audio picked up anything of what we just talked about for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah. Last 5 minutes just.
Just the breeze.
That predate song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the whales. Hell yeah. Now it feels very quiet in here.
Okay, let's
I
not
play
do
2 different songs.
The room silent after the battle.
Welcome to the D&D ambience stream.
Everyone is, dressing their wounds and taking stock of everything. But you did notice that over here against this wall, that there's a large crack in the wall itself. Maybe how they get in and out of the room. It does lead to what looks like a caved-in section of a hallway. But you'd have to kind of peer in with your torch to really look inside to see how navigable it would be.
I'll investigate.
Oh, roll D6. While he's doing that, will anyone else?
I'll follow him.
Okay.
Should I roll to follow him?
Yeah, if you're gonna, did you do an investigation check already? Did you already roll it?
I rolled a 4.
Go ahead. 12.
You'll be leading this one.
And so as far as the other 3, will you follow suit? The room, itself, the other walls, you can say, now there's some spots where there was large sections of stone set into the walls with some dirt, cracks, and roots going up in between some of them. But, of course, this wall has blood and gore and splay all over the side of it, huge burn marks from earlier attacks. But you can still kind of look at the walls or investigate them if you want to. But and they're over here looking in this crack way, trying to see how big it is or how to get through.
Yeah, I'll investigate the walls on this side of the room.
These? Okay.
Seeing if there's like any bigger holes or mechanisms lined alongside the wall.
Okay, and what about for Egan and Irving?
Egan will just tag along with whatever Irving does.
He's gonna investigate the spot where the battle took place over here on this side, with all the gore and grime all over the wall on this side, and the burn marks from a huge attack that had been launched at it earlier in the battle.
I'm just gonna say, Egan, come on, and then we're gonna follow the rest of the majority of the group right now. Because we are all going through the crack. Crack.
So, roll a d6 to investigate this portion of the wall. It is a 1. Again, you know, you can almost reach out with your hand and wipe away the amount of gore and like skin and blood that's all over this section of the wall here. As you look further down, you know, a big attack had been launched against the side of it, like splaying, you know, magic all up the side of it. So the rock there is black and burnt. The dirt interwoven in between the pieces, charred and black. As the whole thing, just like in a wide web, took the whole brunt of the attack. It was earlier in the battle. Investigating it and coming over this way towards the wall, you don't really seem to notice anything except for the sectioned pieces of stone. Some of them are big, of course, and some are smaller. They all have the thin little stretches of dirt interwoven in between them, crisscrossing all the way up the wall. So, you know, as you're investigating it and I guess pressing up against it here and there, it seems pretty solid.
Gonna use read the room.
Go ahead. A 3. So I'm slowly turning and looking out over the room. Again, there's torches that are lit by Egan and by Sprinkles, holding them out as he's peering forward into the fallen in section of the door wall here. So looking out over the room, I mean, over here it is similar to where, you know, before it was sections of stone, and you do see some of those here on the other side built up around the doorway itself. But then it breaks away to more of those big stone flat pieces that are set into the rock. Comes all the way around, though, you know, the pattern over here does look different than the ones over here, of course, because, you know, they're all random rocks. So you do see some bigger ones that are set like this, you know, with one of those dirt cracks in between, kind of going straight up the middle, with more of them set over here, hard on in each other. The wall itself, you know, 15, 30, 45. The room itself is about 80 or 90 feet long. So it definitely may have been a living quarters or a sleeping quarters long ago.
I've seen enough. I start walking towards them to the crevice in the room.
And leaning in, putting your torch inside, it does appear to be a shallow bit of a hallway, and you can definitely see out there on the floor ahead, it probably is another room, though you really can't see anything about it other than that, you know, you see the depth of a breakaway, and it's more stone floor, but it is awfully tight to crawl through there.
How does it look?
Can I use my pickaxe to like open it up more?
How does it look? If you can describe it to me, I might be able to use my shatter
I'll
dagger.
describe to him, you know, everything I see.
Roll d6. 5. You hiss in disapproval as you stand back up, stretching your back, like it's like the whole wall got crushed in by something rare.
So you don't think that we could like knock the wall down? It's more of a cave in.
And more like a dig. And more like you'd be digging through the ground itself that fell into the wallway here. It was a narrow hallway, maybe only about 8 to 10 feet, but it's been 80% knocked in and crushed in, leaving a tight little narrow spot through. The hulking wolf rat could shimmy through it easily enough.
You try mining now.
Does anyone else have any mining tools?
I do.
I think I gave him a pickaxe.
I have a shovel.
Yeah, I gave
somebody else
Egan my
can
pickaxe.
use.
Will he use it, or will someone else?
Yeah, I have a couple of
He's got a
shovels.
little Sean.
You said it was a combination of stone and dirt.
Yes.
I'll use the shovel.
I have a pickaxe. I think Eden might. Or you used to.
So everyone, do two players have pickaxes
I
and
gave a
2
pickaxe
players
to
have
him.
shovels? And what do you have,
Yeah, I
Slippy?
have a couple
I don't
shovels.
have a pickaxe or
No,
I get a
no
pickaxe.
mining tools.
Even extra shovels.
So I guess
I'll
what
give
choice
one-
you
I'll
have
give
but to
one-
sing a mining
I'll
song?
Oh,
I'll give one of them.
roll one D.
Roll,
Roll for tune.
He has
I got
extras. Oh, he's singing though.
I roll a mine shanty.
Oh.
Ha.
Try it again.
Right in the left foot.
Try it once more.
A 2. Well, you let out a low, weeping sort of thrum with your strength, your lyre, right? Let out a. Yeah, I got the window all the way open.
yet another dragon.
That's right. Roll it again. You let out a thrum, and it echoes out over the walls of the room, right? One time, and then a thrum as it echoes out again, right? Slow. And then as you begin to slowly kind of, build up towards something a little more rhythmic, thrumming, thrum, and, trying to set something in time as Egan and Sprinkles are standing out in front here with their pickaxes wielded, and Irving and Drum are going to kind of stand behind them with their shovels. Do I have everyone's tool orientation right?
Yes,
I
I
have
have
a pickaxe.
a shovel.
Yeah, if anyone wants a shovel, I can hook him up.
Like Eden.
I just don't think
Oh,
it'd be a
he's
good
already-
idea to
Does
get the-
Egan have one?
Ian
has
had a
pickaxe.
pickaxe, so there were 2 pickaxes in the front, and then you guys were going to shovel away the debris as they were knocking it away with your shovels.
Yes.
So then all 4 of these characters roll a d6. That's Egan, Irving, Drum, and a 6.
I don't know, 2. You have a 2? Yay.
Battles it into a 3. So your 2 got upgraded to a 3, and his is still a 6. You got Egan and Drum still have to roll.
Smack it.
Oh, you're gonna roll for Egan, right?
4. Oh.
A 5. 6, 5, 4, 3. Nice, pretty good. And so the 6 and the 5, of course, is the both of you almost in unison slam your pickaxes against the wall at the same time. I mean, instantly a big chunk of the outer section of the wall of the doorway that had caved in crumbles and breaks away. Boom. And as soon as it does, you hear where it's landing at. So you're trying your best to scoot the shovel up underneath it and then doing a sweeping motion to, sweep things away in that general area. You're trying your best. But yeah, Drum was just waiting for the chunks of rock to come falling down as everyone starts clearing out the debris as Slippy and Egan start, hitting it again. Boom. And, Egan, you thought for sure that Egan wouldn't be very good at this, but as you noticed him swinging this pickaxe, you noticed that he seemed to be quite practiced in it, as his skill and technique seem...
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Irving must have taught him.
Some doing reps in the trap room, it's like that. So yeah, he's swinging confidently, knocking big chunks of the dirt and rock away. And so, within 1 turn, which would be, about a minute or 2 of steady, fast working, and then into the next turn, which is like into the 2nd and 3rd minute, where everyone is, not really talking except for the low thrumming, thrum, 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 as you're playing like a slow mining march in the background. You roll a 3. So you're, clearing away a good portion of it. So into the 2nd turn, you've, maybe got, you would say halfway through, about 4 feet.
Halfway through?
Yeah, because once you broke through the section pieces that were the walls and ceiling itself, the rest of it was dirt.
We should have actually probably used work together.
Oh, I can't believe it.
But we can do it again, right?
Now do you want to try to do another mining tune and then have Egan get in on the work together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll roll for 2.
3.
They just keep going up.
This is getting better.
Continuing the same, melodic yet dirge-like slow thrumming, thrum from. So everyone else roll for the work together. That's Egan, Sprinkles, Irving, and Drum. Work together 4. Work together off the table. You want to throw a bonus 4? Go ahead.
Thank you.
A 2. A second 4 on the work together. Oh no. Match the 2. Hits a 4! Let's go! And knock the 2 into a 1. You can roll again. You got 3 4s in a row. Hit a 3. So it's 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. So though no one successfully links into the work together, you worked together by yourself so hard that you do pick up the next level of that skill. It's just team up.
Hey.
With other players that have team up. Though if you want to roll your 1d6 on their 1d4s and work together, I guess that'd be okay. It's the same kind of move. So if you want to roll 1d6s on their 1d4, oh, that way, yeah, that way if everyone else links in on you, then they can get team up. That's got to be how it works when I set it up that way.
Like a
Sure it was.
+2 instead of a +1 on our next action.
Yeah, if you hit the 6, then your work together gives you the +2 bonus.
Okay.
Well, that's on team up. That's on team up.
Team effort.
Yeah, you can call it team up or team effort, depending on the campaign that you're in, I guess.
Team effort.
Teamwork making the dream work.
And it's 1d6.
So I shall only do more.
What are dreams but reality unmanifested?
Which I feel can't melt steel means.
So now with all 4 of you now roll for your mining and shoveling rolls. You don't get a bonus on the work together. And you're playing
Do I get a
the
bonus?
same melodic dirgeful tune in the background. Yeah, everyone roll now for their d6 for their mining and their shoveling for the next 2 turns.
Oh. Bro, look at the
no.
At you rolling. Hey.
Leveling up the skill did not give you a bonus. I really hate that.
6. Oh, yeah.
We have a 6 and a 3 and a 6. Battle it into a 6. We got that on the shot.
It is.
Somebody hit my 3.
Knocked a 3 into a 4, but lands the 4.
It's another one.
But you hit the 6, and you hit 6-4.
Where are we going?
Oh, for the mining and shoveling rolls.
Put that 1 in the middle, please.
Yeah, that was. Knocked it into a 5, lands a 2. So it seems that Sprinkles, because he was swinging out and away with a lot of the debris, was blasting it up and out in large chunks and pieces. To whereas you were trying to shovel up some of it, other pieces were falling and trying to land on you. He was really doing it haphazardly with no regard or teamwork to how you were standing there. Exactly. As you were furiously slamming away at the wall with the pickaxe, you, in that moment where you leveled it up, gained a sense of the team of one mentality. I'm my own team right now. So as you worked for that first turn again vigorously, sweat forming up, causing you to lap your mouth. I mean, you're covered in fur, so it's not like your body really sweats, but you can feel yourself getting hotter and hotter, and you feel like you have to pee.
I'll finish working and then I'll drink some water.
So going into the first turn again, another minute and a half of just boom, slamming into the wall and knocking the dirt away. And it's mostly dirt at this point with the occasional bigger chunk or piece of rock embedded in. But what an opportunity to find nothing rare.
Oh no! Can we roll?
Yeah, can we roll d20s?
I'll let everyone roll a d12.
Hey.
An 8, a 6, an 11. You can battle the 8 or the 6. Battle the 6.
The 6, yeah.
Battles the 6 into a 12. Into a 12.
Hit my 4, please.
Go ahead and roll that again. Let's go.
Anyway,
Battles it into a 10 and lands an 8. So the 12 and 11 are going to be the winners. Because you were digging and slamming at the dirt so recklessly, you were really not paying much of a mind to what you were blasting out except for the dirt. As you went to shovel up a scoop of it, another hard clump of soddy dirt slams into your shoulder. You're like, cat. But as you do, it breaks away, and like a black grimy kind of rock sort of tumbles out. It's almost like it's coal, but as it lands in your hands, you can tell the outside is soft. Like you can kind of either peel the dirt away. As you grab it and try to get the grime off it, it breaks open, revealing a crystalline-looking diamond embedded within.
Oh, wow.
Found a diamond.
Oh, diamond?
Oh shit!
I'll take it.
You only need like 2 more for the picture.
They're going in their heels.
So
Nice.
and on the 11, because you were
Thanks, bud.
out here playing a tune, just kind of strumming away. It's Egan. Egan was the one who you rolled for, right? Oh god dang. So as all of a sudden, it is so great. All of a sudden, as you hear drums say, "Oh, look at this! The cat threw me a diamond."
Whatever. You're welcome.
There's that moment where he starts kind of looking around. Egan just looks over the dirt and everything that's been sprayed out around him, just kind of looking for a moment. And he does he's like, oh, does he see something there? He does lean in as everyone is kind of looking over at this diamond as you're holding it out. And it twinkles in the torchlight. It's shimmering. It's a beautiful diamond. I mean, it's like this big.
You make a prismatic lantern.
I'm just standing off to the side. Like, no. Not looking.
So yeah, I guess you'd still be kind of trying to shovel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, you heard him yelling about a diamond, so you can ask him what it looks
You're
like.
at least standing there looking somewhere.
Does it sparkle?
Oh,
I don't know what sparkle means.
It's an extremely hard substance. We can make a super powerful weapon out of it, or armor, or perhaps even a lantern. Or
Are we
some other
truly in
usage.
Minecraft? Are we making diamond armor?
I think we're gonna have to come back to that at some point.
So Egan reaches forward, and reaching over in the dirt, I mean, it's a small little clump of what looks like a yellow, dark stained rock. But as he kind of looks at it and picks it up, it's got a little dark, little bit of a luster on the shiny. There's a little bit of a shimmer to it, though it's mostly covered in dirt. But as he rubs his thumb away, it's like gold, and it's like a gold nugget. And he just kind of looks around quickly, noticing that no one's really paying attention, and stuffs it into his pocket. He has a gold nugget.
Good on him.
Egan, open your mouth. What you got?
Slippy's like, oh, by the way, we're instituting a loot check.
Loot check, aisle 9, let's go.
A whole gold nugget. Oh, crack.
Nice, it was on the 11th. But after that end of that, once the excitement of that finding the diamond kind of settles down, you spend the rest of the turn kind of digging and chipping away with the axe until eventually it does push and break through about a foot chunk of rock and debris out into a hallway, spilling out in front of it. Diamante.
What if we just wind up in like
I guess you gotta pay a little tribute to Minecraft. You gotta pay a little tribute to Minecraft in a game like this, right? If you guys are mining deep underground, I mean, that's not the best thing you can probably find, right? I mean, I'm just saying. Finding gold isn't bad, but finding diamonds is great. Let's see. So you were expecting it to open up into a wider, perhaps a larger room. Although the only thing that you notice is that this room is, again, maybe the size of a small sitting or a small storage room with, it's even more dirt now in here. Almost the top layer of it is dirt, hard packed in, with stone and rock all around the bottom perimeter of it, loosely set together. Like this room was either hastily made or not completed. And you do see where, maybe there was heavier rat nesting, thick clumps of matted down fur, all the way up in one of the corners with cobwebs and bugs crawling all over it. you see what looks like over here. Maybe there would have been something stacked here long ago, heavy bits of wood or a stand perhaps. It's long since rotted and fallen away into itself, with only like sloughed over hunks of wet, molded wood. What order were you guys? So Egan and Sprinkles were the first two to walk in. So Egan and Sprinkles both rolled d6. Oh, yeah, you can roll for Egan. Egan hits 3.
You want me to battle it?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, no, because the 6 is on the other side.
It's on this side. Oh, no, that's a 2. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 is on this side. You got the.
I'm just gonna roll.
It's a 4. So as you know, as you all start wriggling through the wide and open way in the hall, and you go to move into this room, there is that moment where you kind of notice everything that I described in that first couple of seconds upon walking in the room. As you and Egan at the same time kind of go to step forward closer in, you immediately notice the layout of the floor below you. The dirt indented a little bit in what looks like a small circular space there. So instantly shooting your hand out, like Egan was about to take a step, and you stop put him in the chest. His foot still out. Everyone behind you just kind of stops short for just a moment.
Sprinkles, what do your cat eyes see?
I'm gonna tell him what I see.
So making sure that Egan's not going to advance, right? You just kind of kneel down and holding the torch out. Look, you can definitely see that as you look over at the floor, and it's a smaller room. It appears to be hard packed, earth and dirt all sort of mixed together with, a smaller bit of stone piece here or there. Though there is a spot in the dirt where it looks like it's depressed, like maybe an inch or two, in a wide bit of a circle like this, or a semicircle perhaps.
I'm gonna investigate that.
So shuffling forward on your knees, you shuffle closer to the spot to where you're like a foot from it, kind of peering over it. I mean, it's definitely like this. I mean, it's only about an inch. It was incredibly subtle. Though it's in such a semicircular kind of shape there, it drew your attention anyways as you were sort of walking into the room.
Can I throw the torch in it?
So you want to stand up and do it, or do it while you're kneeling over it?
Just wanna kind of stay back a little bit and toss it.
So standing up to your feet, you again, having, and you two behind are just like, what's he? He's kind of like crouching and looking and standing up
Cat,
and doing
what's the
this.
hold up?
That crazy cat.
Backing up, you hold the arm over it, right, and you drop the torch over. It lands, and instantly the splintering of wood, as what may have been a wooden door or hatch of some kind, instantly just breaks and gives way, revealing a hole wide like this. You hear the splintering of wood and the of the torch as it's tumbling down. Looking down over it, and now Egan has his torch out, leaning down, overlooking. It looks like a shaft that goes down maybe 20 feet. The torch is lit at the bottom, so you can see it down there on the floor.
Okay. Is there any other space in here? Any other doors in the walls or anything? Any other space we can see?
Looking around, maybe the room was again. It looks like it wasn't completed, and so it's not really walls here, but just hard rock and stone going up a couple feet, and then the rest of it hard packed set dirt, making a slow doming ceiling over top, with the rats nesting over here in the corner with bugs and cobwebs on it, and there was some rotted mushy wood over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the hall.
So it looks to be about 20 feet down. Are you simply just going to step off into it?
Is there not a ladder there or anything?
You don't see any.
I'll use one of my
Really
clothes.
good old Egan push.
No, I didn't fail. I'll do it. I have rope. I'm gonna use my rope.
Nice. So
It's too hot.
uncoiling the rope from your inventory, you let it spool down the circular hatchway, and it drops down about the 20 feet until you've got about 8 or 10 feet of it still left in your hands, and you can see a bit of it coiled there, way down on the floor. again, and there's that moment where your torchlight only goes down so far, and then you can see the small flickering light of the torchlight at the bottom, and so there's that spot in the middle where it's pitch black. I mean, it appears to be a normal shaft, but it's long enough to where it, you can't help but take notice of that.
I'll climb down it first. Can I use scale wall actually just to climb straight down it?
Sure, go ahead.
Let's go.
So, tucking your cloak, kind of you swooping it up and sweeping it around you and tying it in a thick knot. You again, because it's about as big as a larger sewer manhole cover. When you walked up around it, it had broken a big piece of the wood down and away, and so but it still is only maybe 2.5 feet around at the widest point. And so it's going to be somewhat tight as you shimmy down it. 3. So waving, you just sort of let go, stepping backwards, and he disappears down there. And you thought that would be a cool idea. You get about 8 foot down, and it does sort of shift and move a little bit. And so you land and stop short, kind of knocking the breath out of you as your back slams against the back of the shaft.
Let's go. I did it though.
You dropped down halfway, and it looked cool. So,
Scale wall only got me halfway.
well, on a 3, and you were, instead of going down, face first into it, it'd be too slick and too smooth around the
I'll
outside.
just use the rope that's out to go
Yeah, you
first.
did. On a 3, you try to do it all at once though,
Yeah.
and you just stop short.
Is there any water in this shaft?
No. And as you scoot it down halfway, you do notice as you're kind of banging against the sides, that it's still smooth. Walls down here. There's peering down past you, you can see the torch down there. You're only about a foot above where it opens up into the room, and again about a 6 foot drop from there.
Okay, I'll keep going.
6. And when you do that, the next person, I'll say, who's gonna try to go down the shaft next?
He's gonna go last and hold the torch so people can see, and so he can also give instructions so people who can't see.
So Egan's going next.
I don't know. Egan's gonna stay up there to.
Oh,
He's gonna lead me down.
Does he have a skill that will help with that?
Mayhaps. Egan will roll a d6 and utilize assist
Hey,
Oh.
appreciate
to assist Irving to know where a good spot to land down there is.
Okay, so Egan's peering over the side.
So like, you can either
He's saying-
slide down or use the
He says,
rope.
it looks like Sprinkles is stuck. Oh, no, wait, he fell. You land forcefully on the ground with both feet, just falling the last 8 feet. You take 1 bludgeoning damage. But now he's cleared it. He's all the way at the bottom. You pick the torch back up, and as you go to look around, both of you roll your assist and for your d6 to descend.
You could use them as a landing pad.
Yeah.
A 4 and a 3. So 3 is enough again as you curl your feathers up as well as you can, and you scoot over to it with your back tendons out of your wings and the wings themselves. It's actually tighter and more cumbersome for you than any other character. You can't really gracefully go down it because it'll ruffle your feathers up, it cause them to crinkle and maybe break. So as you curl them around you, you can put something on over them if you want to try to offer some protection.
Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Thanks, man. What do I have? What do I have? Eight over. My feathers. I ain't got really anything good. What am I wearing, actually?
You had your armor specially made to have holes for the wings to come out of, right?
Yeah. I don't think I have anything that I can do with it. I could try and... Nah, they're full.
Does anyone but Slippy? I'm sorry. Does anyone but Sprinkles? Sprinkles is at the bottom. Does anyone but Sprinkles have any clothes or gear they can offer to try to bind his wings, or at least cover them up?
That robe you gave me, you can put that on for the drop, or wrap it around you to bind your wings.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna swap it out of our inventory, so I'll give it back to you immediately.
So yeah, as soon as you unfurl it, and you have to kind of help him because his wings are big, flapping behind him. So you kind of have to help him put one arm in it, and actually we'll say Egan was doing the assist. So as you produce the robes, Egan's like, oh, well, let me. So he's helping you.
Polite little fella.
Helping you get your. It's a squire's job to make sure the knights are equipped. They had to help them get all their armor on.
The sire, as the shimmer says, will always look their best.
Though your wings are tight and sort of haunched over at top under them. I mean, the robes would normally fit. The wings, though, are fluffed out and big underneath, but it is sheathed over them. And as soon as you do put it on, you feel that momentary trickle of something from the robes themselves. Is it magic? It's hard to tell.
Tingly. I'm gonna jump down.
So with a 3 this time, instead of jumping down, you carefully go over the edge and you lower yourself in. Going down slowly. With a 3, you get halfway down, and it gets a little tighter and slants just a little bit with a bump over on the side. So roll again to shimmy down the rest unscathed. A 2.
I'm gonna take some damage.
There is that moment where you got low enough to where you thought you could just let go. You can see Slippy down there holding the torch up. I keep saying Slippy. You see Sprinkles down there holding the torch up, looking at waiting to see how you're gonna land. So as soon as you sort of drop, you went to instinctively flutter your wings out, but because they were sort of bound under the robes, you instead just land hard on your feet. Would be 1d4 halved, 1 damage.
Oh.
So they're at the bottom of the...
Yeah, they're at the bottom, and you can look out to see that it's a similar hallway to the one that looks like it had been knocked in before. About 6 foot high, with a bit of a square, bit of a ceiling, and it stretches on to the end where there's it looks like another section of a wall, but it looks like it too has some debris over the top third of it, a big pile of rubble in the way.
So they're at the bottom of the rope?
Yeah.
All right, I would like to gracefully jump into it and just use them to cushion my fall.
Roll 1d6.
Can I blind
6. Roll it again. Yeah, you can blind sense. Roll 1d8. 2 6s. Oh.
Drum coming for you off the top rope. 5.
So as you're kind of you stood up, feeling the impact through your legs and your knees, you can already hear the coming from above you up the shaft. So you already instinctively kind of step back. You fell down, hit that one little spot and just grazed right over it. You didn't take any damage, but it bumped you hard to the side. As you drop straight down to the bottom, you land, boom! Irving had backed up, and you landed 2 feet to where Sprinkles was standing looking down the hallway. With enough of a boom that you instinctively just jump, both hands and feet up in the air, 5 feet.
That's great.
So, landing with your claws out, you turn around and you see him. Your ears are flattened back for a moment. And you're just you see him just kind of standing there, So now it's Slippy and Egan at the top of the shaft. So now you can look down and very narrowly see the 3 of them down there, kind of peering up through the hole.
Can I start trying to make space down there?
Make space.
Can you say the...
Oh yeah, all the way at the end. Let them. They're gonna try to at least roll to get down there first.
I'm gonna pick up Egan.
Okay.
And essentially have him sit on me like I'm the king slime or whatever. Not saying I am or anything, or the slime knight.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna just jump off and try to mold myself into a spring by the time we land. I tell him to hold on, or whatever.
Okay.
If you don't want to, he can live his own life.
That's a 4 for you, and roll the d6 for Egan. Knocked yours into a 6, but he hits a 1. So as you feel your body shrink up and condense, as you leap over the hole, you drop down into it. And there's that moment of weightlessness as you fall. You hit the first section of it, and because you are going almost straight, you do land hard, taking a 1d4 half, taking 1 damage. Dropping straight through the second part, you feel that weightlessness again. As you come, flying out of the bottom, your body had formed into enough of a spring to where when you land there, your whole body seems to land and almost like drop down and get flat for just a moment, trying to absorb the impact. So you don't take any damage from that. But then you hear thud, and then silence for a second as
Hey, where's Egan at?
as Egan comes, stumbling out head first from the shaft. He had fallen sideways and got turned around and twisted up and ended up, taking more damage than I guess than anyone else will as he drops out of this thing. Will anyone roll to try to get in his way to catch him?
Yes.
Sprinkles roll
Is that a
pickpocket to get the nuggets.
D6?
Yeah, it's a d6. A 6.
Okay.
Roll it again.
Oh yeah.
Good God. There you go.
3.
So putting your arms out, you just happen to put them out in a way to where he tumbles right into them.
Good day, let's go.
But he still took another 1d4 half the damage. He took 1 damage. Jeez.
He took all
My damage rolls are crap.
These guns, they're steel. They hurt.
And that was from tumbling awkwardly through the shaft.
Oh. It wasn't from these guns.
So readying the pickaxes again. Well, Egan, getting up, has to rub a little bit of blood off his shoulder from where he scraped it hard. He's like, that hurt.
You use one of
Sprinkle
your
some
healers
herb on
to-
it, you be alright.
Yeah.
But Sprinkles is already making your way to the end of this hallway, where it seems like, there is a doorway that seems to lead to another room that you can see. But it looks like that there's a big pile about 3 feet high of broken-in rock and dirt and chunks of stone that are piled up over the front of it. And as Sprinkles walks closer and you peer into the room, you can see that it also looks like this room is, it's like the floor is higher in this room for some reason. Like behind where that rubble is blocking it, as you peer over the top, you see that the room looks like the floor is like a couple of feet higher in here.
Can I see the ceiling?
Peering up, yeah, you can see the ceiling.
Is the ceiling just as high as in this room?
No, it's a higher ceiling. Would look like what looks like actual longer pieces of set-in pieces of stone, constructed like this to.
Let's try to get through here.
So you'll have to kind of, you could either kind of scramble up and kind of get up in there, or you can use your
Can you stay
pickaxes. You can use your pickaxes to kind of clear away a spot for everyone to kind of walk up in through it.
Dude, let's get to digging again. We might find more treasure.
Let's go.
So Egan letting out a sigh,
I tell Egan.
takes out the pickaxe.
I tell Egan he's done enough today. I tell him he can hand drum that pickaxe.
Unless-
Drum can use the pickaxe and the shovel.
That is true. I can do that.
But no, I'll take the pickaxe.
Oh,
Alright, then he can do that.
okay. So that's Slippy and Sprinkles with the pickaxes. And it'll take you only 1 turn this time of vigorous hacking at this mound of debris and rubble in front of the raised doorway. So both of you roll a d6.
I will equip my second shovel, and I'll have a shovel
A
in each
6.
hand.
Akimbo shovels.
That's a 6.
I've done it before.
We got a squire and you're the shovel knight. Let's go.
a 5. Rerolls in a 2. So with a 6 and a 5, it only takes you. It didn't take you the whole turn. So you're knocking chunks and bits of debris away. Making it more of an even grade as you're knocking it down in front of you, to where you can kind of walk, scooting up, and you can walk up inside the doorway, semi-crouched over to get into the room. So who will go? Who will go first, and in what order?
I'll go in first.
So
And I'll follow him.
Yeah, I'll go third.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's
Looks
put the
good,
cat
man.
in the back.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Nice. So Slippy, bounding up the rock and dirt, you move up into this room. So when you do, we're watching Levi play Adventures of Link on the Nintendo. What a game! Is actually pretty fun.
Legendary, some would say.
He's doing a perfect grind where he's trying to go through all the temples, not take any damage. So watching, get murked by an enemy a few times.
Progress, though. Making steady?
Yeah, definitely. You've
Not
almost got
stuck
that
too
second
long.
temple cap. It's
I
amazing.
needed your help once or twice.
To offer a little
I
advice as
since
far as
have learned though. I'm glad you're here to witness.
Had to teach him the tech.
Yeah. It was a 1.
Oh, then.
No, that's a 6.
So, as Slippy bounds in first, it is a larger room with higher ceilings, and it is somewhat dark. Do you have light source?
Ask Irving if he sees anything in here.
I hand him a torch.
Why you do this?
That's all I'm saying.
I point just off away from him just a little bit and hand him a torch.
It's like, taking it from behind him, you hold it out into the room, and you can see again that it has, the whole room just seems to be up a couple of feet from the rooms before it for some reason. Though the ceilings here are higher, about 15 feet, with those long, smooth, darker gray stones interpieced together, making the section of the ceiling. And the walls themselves, appear to be made out of long, thick blocks. But these are like longer blocks, and some are rounded and some are grooved. Different colors, but most of them are gray or dark brown or dark gray. And as you kind of see, it was dirt the first 5 or 6 feet when you walked in, but you see that in the center here, there appears to be a circular piece where it's actually all smooth stone with dust and cobwebs littering its surface. Holding the torch, you can see dirt, stretching around in a bit of a circle around the room, but the center is definitely smooth stone.
I relayed that back to Irving and everyone else, and I told them it's probably a room where we have to walk on it a special way, because if we go straight across, we'll get bamboozled, hoodwinked, mollywopped, mayhaps even
Smackledorfed.
Yeah.
good thing.
Egan, we got a job to do, bud. And we're gonna do
Here's
it.
the plan: maximum risk, minimum reward. We all just walk in a line across, and if something breaks, we pull each other to safety.
Sweet. I'm gonna grab a fistful of this bag of Slippy's head.
Unhand me, you!
I'm grabbing you in case you fall.
So
Here, hold my weapon.
Okay, that's better.
Oh, we.
So you're just gonna you just move. You're just gonna take a leap.
Yeah.
So hopping out on it.
By that.
Oh, I mean, if you didn't want to roll it.
To the left.
Okay, leaping this way. You want to roll d6. 2. You hop forward 2 or 3 feet and land, on the smooth outer surface of it. You land, and there's a moment where you're just kind of looking around. Nothing seems to happen. As you holding the torch up now, you get a closer look inside the room, and you can see up against this wall here looked to have been a cloth painting of some kind. It was stretched and draped all over the whole expanse of the wall. Though you only see the top bits with little frayed pieces coming off the bottom. Some other pieces worn and sagging, hanging off smaller sections of the walls, and broken, long, rotted frame pieces all at the bottom of the floor. And so then you look over to the other side of the wall, almost instinctively, and sure enough, there's another one that would have been over on that side.
You said these are cloth paintings?
They were like cloth paintings that looked like they had been attached or affixed to this wall long ago to adorn it, perhaps. And there's one on this side, and as you look over here, yeah, sure enough, there's one on that side as well.
We should take them.
Though it appears to be perhaps in maybe somewhat better shape. There's a big piece in the middle, about 5 feet long, and comes down in a couple of triangular tatters, to where it looks like the top part of a picture of some kind. It's long, it's pretty faded, but it's at the top up here, so you really can't get a lot of detail on it. So if everyone, walking in, everyone kind of sees this, I'll let everyone else roll an investigation check. Well, actually, everyone can. Well, yeah, your 2 is still there, so if anyone wants to battle it. Ooh.
Who's that?
Oh, there's a 2. I thought. Moving on to. A 4 and battles it into a 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't really see anything, so I figure I'll just wait for the next one.
Maybe like sense something.
I roll a
Hey,
blind, so
roll
this-
and see.
Oh, I missed the dang one.
And a 3.
Yeah, hit the big. What is it? I can't see.
He hit a 5.
for Egan?
Egan hit a 5.
Oh, nice.
You can go to 5.
I rolled a 3 on my
What
blind
could be
sense.
chosen?
See anything, hear anything.
You can shoot a lightning arrow and illuminate the place.
I feel like something may be behind these paintings. And since they're made of cloth, we could easily burn them.
Well, I mean, they would have been long paintings, almost as wide as the walls, high as the walls themselves, about 10 feet there. Though again, many pieces simply aren't there, seeing the visible rock behind it. There's only the occasional scrap here, or darkened piece there. Only on this side, that was the biggest piece you saw up there at the top, about a 5-foot triangular piece. But the rest of it looks, wet or like rotted or like in a little chunk or a piece to where, you might get something, but you'd almost damage it by trying to pull it away.
Does a certain part of the floor look more worn than others?
So you do notice that that stone circle goes all the way around. Pretty as you're kind of looking around the room. It's pretty evenly set in the middle. Was it done ornamentally?
I'm gonna go stand in the center.
Standing in the center. Who's? Was this? Standing in the center. You close your eyes for a moment. Try to picture maybe what they would have looked like back in the day, or maybe what this room would have looked like back in the day had it been inhabited by people or by something. What reason was it here? That's kind of hard to say, but you definitely feel like if there's a big piece up there, you should at least try to recover that, if not anything else. I mean, it's about, the wall itself is about 13, 15 feet high. And so that piece itself is about 8 to 10 feet high up at the top part of the wall. You can see a thin, a bit of a wooden frame piece at the top that's still holding it. And it looks like it's some kind of cloth.
Guys, it's time for a Zupendous stack.
Let's do it.
Do it.
We were already practicing the springboard.
So, in what order is this gonna go?
I guess the biggest on the bottom. Heaviest.
It would be either
Drummer.
Drum or Slippy.
I think that you should do it because you're the
Yeah, you can
like
like.
we've already done the springboard thing. So if you did like just a pedestal,
Yeah, you
or
could just be
whatever.
a solid
Or like-
foundation.
With Drum standing on
you'd
you,
be like a trapezoid.
and then someone could either jump up on you with the next person trying to climb up that, which would be pretty risky, or the next person like running and jumping, and it could be one of the quick characters. You have a climb move, so maybe you can, or because you can jump in as you can take those robes off now that you're in this large
Yeah,
room.
I
and
give them back to
you
him,
can
so.
unfurl your wings so that you could all if either of you want to try it first, but you could both try.
I mean,
I
I'm.
even have a wilder idea.
You're lighter than me.
We could have Egan bounce onto me, and then as Egan's in the air, have Drum then bounce onto me, and then as Drum's in the air, he
Catch
then
Egan.
he catches you, throws you up to where Egan was, and then Egan gets on your shoulders, and then
Are we in
Sprinkles
a
climbs up.
Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
Do we even need all
That would
of
be really
us
fun.
to reach that far?
No, it's about 10 feet up. So
I feel like you could for real. Okay,
So 3 people.
I do like the bouncing though, but here's what I'm thinking. He bounces off of you. I get on your shoulders. He then uses his wings to land on me. He can climb up real quick and get to the top.
Like the ant bridges.
Sure, why not?
Nice. Let's do it.
so Slippy roll first, the d6.
Should we use work together?
Oh yeah. That's Slippy, Drum, and Irving, right?
Can I walk around and investigate some other stuff?
Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Now all of you roll a d6 for the maneuver. Slippy rolls first. And Slippy,
Bless you.
with a 5,
bless you. 2 times.
you're up, up against a section of the wall, and you feel your body flattening out a bit. As tension sort of builds up, as Drum then kind of steps up, and he's pretty heavy for a Namekian. So he's kind of heavy as you grunt for a moment under his weight. Go ahead and roll your d6. 6. Roll it again.
Oh,
He might be flying.
So and then Irving does his. A 4. So as soon as you kind of stand on him, you can already hear Irving running up behind the two of you. So you just kind of put your hands up against the wall like this and brace for his weight. Though when you feel his feet gingerly rest on your back, you notice that he doesn't weigh that much.
with them hollow bones.
Yeah.
So then as you leap once, step up again onto his shoulder, you then spring up off his back as hard as you can. Roll d6.
I feel like a pirate.
Piece of shit.
A 1.
Oh, good
That
day.
tracks.
It is a 1P.
I'm gonna leave it there in case somebody can do it.
You hop in the air like trying to spring, but your feet sort of do this bit of a cartwheel motion. You do reach out instinctively, and you do feel your hand to grab the bottom of something, cloth. So as you hang on to it,
Yeah.
as you hang on to it, you feel yourself falling for a moment. Your wings then, of course, flutter out as you safe fall, and Slippy has to kind of step back. And doing so, Drum roll d4 to step off him gracefully as he lunges backwards.
Or you could also roll to stay on him and ride him like a wave.
Well, it's a
The
1.
Namekian Swamp Rider.
it's a 1d4. Go ahead. A 1. Going. "Urgh!" You fall over the side and boom, land hard on your back.
Yeah, that happens.
Irving lands with the wings fluttering out behind him. Woof, as he lands resting on his feet. You heard a splintering of wood, of course, as it broke away from the wall, but then it lands in front of you. It is a what you'd call it it's a tapestry piece.
Nice.
Guys,
Um,
why not just
Is there
grab
on the back of it?
You notice as he kind of stops for a moment and lays it out on the floor, and everyone can kind of stand around it and get a closer look. It does appear to be almost like, because it was the top middle portion, and so it's a section where you see the lines of what look like could be mountains in the background, and the brief little form here of what could be a sun maybe shining, and you notice that it does have a black trim or a border around the outside of the tapestry itself. Though intelligence check.
6.
So yeah, both of you roll d6.
Let's roll at the same time.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Knock my 1 and something else.
Oh.
Battles it into a 2 and lands a 1. So as you everyone leans in closer, squinting to get a better look at it, it does look like on that land or hills lower on the tapestry piece, it looks like there's smaller little dots and figures. Could they be people out there? A large group? There's a lot of them all kind of sprinkled out in there. It's hard to say if it's the dirt or not, but it looks like that's how it was painted on there. Though as you look up higher to where the black bordering is, there is something curious about it as you kind of have to really lean in close to look. You got to be careful holding the torch over it. You don't want any of the embers to land on it. Leaning in closer to look, yeah, that black bordering almost isn't bordering at all. It looks like it's got to be symbols. Does someone have a text skill they can use?
I have predate text.
Yeah, I have that as well.
Okay, go ahead.
We both use them.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Nothing.
It's
You're like a
probably
cat that
1d8.
wants food.
Yeah.
1d8, go ahead. 2. Please battle that with your
You're
predate
not my
text.
I can use it
responsibility.
5 times a day, so
Oh,
I
wow.
can use it 4 more times. We'll battle it anyway.
Yeah, 4 will give that skill to a couple of you. Battled it into a 7 and lands an 8.
Oh.
Roll it again.
Don't hit mine. The 7's good.
To a 1.
Hey, he called it.
So this time as Slippy sort of draws closer, something about the bordering did look strange to you. So you lean in closer to look. You see that it's in fact not bordering at all, but symbols that are so old and so worn looking together that it looked like bordering around the outside. It must have been a long line of some kind of symbolic text across the whole bordering of the painting. And so as you move over to one side of it, you lean in closer, and there is a moment where you feel something in your mind as you're looking at the symbols. This move was meant to detect, the texts that related to, the old ways, the original texts, right?
Guys, I think the border of this spell script surrounding this area could be a metaphor for the world spell.
Oh.
As you feel your lips moving without saying anything, they seem to move without you realizing it. As your eyes are dragging along the symbols, he doesn't seem to be making talking sounds. He's going shinya fong shinya.
Kick his ass! Stop him from casting!
Slippy? These aren't lyrics.
And there's that brief moment where suddenly you get a flash in your eyes, and it's like a glittery, rainbowing sense of like where all your vision is kaleidoscoped for just a moment. It's almost stunning at first, so you instantly snap back. You gain 1d4 Wraith points. Four.
Oh, wow.
Roll it again. A 4 again. That's 5 Wraith points. A 3.
Dude.
Has a
Whoa.
brain writing skill.
Oh yeah, I never got that race.
Oh, your character had. Oh, that's because your character hadn't leveled up, right? So the sheet wasn't over here. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I was leveling up all those other
You
characters.
said 5, right?
Yeah.
5 is good.
Yes.
That puts me at 30.
That kaleidoscoping flash in your mind was so sharp and so pervasive that even as you're now blinking, staring at the wall, behind you now, it's like those dots are still in your vision for a couple of seconds. It was the brightest thing you'd ever seen in your life.
Can I try using predate text again?
No, I'm Dr. Strange.
Oh, man.
That'd be really good to use it. I can use it one more time.
What's in that tea? Suicide? Oh, it's just tea with honey. Oh, what happened?
Wow, what happened?
Dude came to her with broken hands and was like, teach me.
Oh,
Also one
nerfed.
shot hold.
Nerfed.
What?
Also one shot.
What's the rave scale again for this?
At
It's
the
like
same
7.
time. That was kind of good too.
7 plus 8, 15, plus 9, 24.
But Thanos,
24.
Thanos had
Plus
Hulk
10,
doing yoga.
34.
yeah.
I'll also need a rave
He
skill.
turned his life around.
Thanos is crazy.
Oh, let's go.
Just to lose to some people in tights there.
Yes, that was my third rating skill that I started from 24.
That's a rave skill.
I have 25. I forgot to get my 24.
No, I got 12.
How many?
Ooh.
I have 25.
Yeah,
and I only got my first 2.
Let's
both
go.
game.
Rave skill.
A little bit more playing too sometimes, though, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So Raving Symphony lets you use your whole turn up and spend the MP to play up to 4 songs, either
Holy
back to
crap.
back or all at the same time.
That's awesome.
Good day.
That is awesome.
Let's go. Bunch of buffs.
Just swollen.
Get your
Dude, why are you obsessed with this? I'm never bringing chopsticks here again. My man can't control himself.
So as you're as you looking over the tapestry and you have the strange sparkling vision, and there was that moment again when he got the rave points where there was that momentary brief little pring twinkle over his head that you guys normally see when someone gets the rave point, right? And you just couldn't get that feeling out of your head, like it was the brightest flash of pinpoint of light you'd ever seen, almost burned into your retinas. So it was almost like it was like getting slapped in the face with the rave points. Though you do notice that again that the room comes down here to a wall at the end, and that there's an opening looking like a level set 6 foot high doorway that's been open. No doors actually there. A passageway leading off. Though again this wide open stone space in the middle of the room, and it's wide open spot. It's pretty level, even with dirt around the outside. An ideal place to pitch up a canopy tent and do a short rest. Everyone can take watches again, and you can regenerate a little bit before you venture further on into the dungeon.
This calls for a rave. Get that prismatic lantern out.
Yeah.
Turn it up in the dungeons today.
Can I pull out the metal stove and do a little bit of cooking for the squad?
Oh, dungeon picnic.
Yeah, who has the canopy tent?
Yeah, I'll set up the C10.
I also have a metal stove, I have a pan.
Nice. Then you can roll for that, and you can roll for. I mean, if you guys are all getting all set, sit.
Oh, a 6 on the C10 roll.
What was that?
Can't read.
3.
Do we all roll
Ace.
Rolling to set up a rest area.
Dungeon diamond.
Roll a 6.
You know what game is incredibly woke? Watch Dogs 2. That game is in San Francisco. That game is super woke. But nobody said anything when it came out.
That makes sense, though. Seems that demographic.
Like, that game is overtly in your face with wolves. I heard no controversy.
What a move.
Still a good game.
So it's a raving attack where you can't move, so you have to kind of stand there and charge it up. But it's a beam of energy that you can create from your fingertips that you can that you can spend up to 8 MP on. And
That's
depending
amazing.
on how long you sit there uninterrupted and build it up, it goes up to a D12 as far as when you can shoot it.
Drumstick can.
I'm charging my attack.
Let's go.
I've been waiting for that.
Give you a rake point. Yeah, you just
Hell yeah.
I was waiting for the right time to give it out. In this room of all places, it seems so apropos.
Perfect.
So as the canopy tent goes up and stakes are being set up, Sprinkles is already underneath, putting wood up and setting the pot on it like he's gonna cook and he's gonna start preparing something. Guys can go ahead and do any final rolls you're gonna do. But it is almost midnight, so we're gonna call it for tonight as the group gets ready to take a short rest and prepare themselves to push further into this dungeon, to venture into the dungeon, as some would say. And so we thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. Please catch us on YouTube, and we'll see you
Next time!